Tiger Nation, D.I. Love family, Guard the Yard crew. Listen, this is Coach O, your assistant head coach of JSU football. I had to bring in a special guest today to help me relay this message to you. We are less than how many days, though?
90.
90 days. We're less than 90 days away from kickoff in Atlanta, Georgia. ABC, your Tigers gonna be live. But guess what? Before we get to that point, we gotta take care of the vet first. We're gonna fill up our stadium before we fill up somebody else's, right? So this is what I need from you. I need you to go do what, Zoe?
Get your damn tickets.
Listen, we sold over 6,000 season tickets last year, but this is your homeboys now. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. The head coach is from Macomb, Mississippi. These your people. And we are in the building ready to rock and roll. So Zoe, what do we need them to do?
Get your damn tickets.
Today, tomorrow, money order, check, cash, it don't matter. Just go to the vet and purchase
your mother tickets.
Guard the Yard. Can't wait to see you this fall. We got 4 homecomings. 4 homecomings, not just one. Be there for all of them. Let's go.
What's good, everybody? What's going on? What's up? What's up? It's Monday, Juneteenth. What's good, everybody? Hopefully everybody had a good weekend, a great holiday. What's cracking? What's cracking, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Got a little allergies tonight. Don't worry about that. I got some stuff I'm already taking. I'm good. Just the weather changing with traveling. So, and just from the onset, man, just everybody back home, man, you know, prayers up for everybody. And just everybody's dealing with power issues. I've been seeing a little bit of that. Hopefully everybody is getting back to, everything's getting back to normal for them with lights and everything. So, excuse me, I've been sneezing it up, man, and just like I said, the different climates. Got a chance to go to my nephew's wedding. Congratulations to them. He's a Jackson State alum, and just man, I tell you, I had a really good weekend. And it was great, man. So I'm gonna give everybody a little time to kind of get on in this thing, and then we'll get rolling. But happy Juneteenth to everyone. And y'all know what we working on, man. Y'all know what we own, baby. Y'all know what we own. We definitely things are rocking and rolling with the fundraiser. Still going. We got to get to 50K. You know, the goal is to get that by Wednesday. So we need to have a strong push tonight. Don't make no difference if you donated. If you like to donate again, feel free to jump on in there again and throw something in the pot. Let's get it rolling, though. Y'all see the ticker at the bottom. You know, we are around. We got about 13 more thousand to get to. We can get there. We can get there tonight. So I always say this. You know, 13,000 is 130 people sending $100. It's just that simple. So I don't think. I mean, I would love to believe that all 130, 150, whatever we hit, I would love to hit that goal tonight. And y'all gotta give me a second. I'll tell you about my traveling. I always have an adventure, man. Whenever I'm traveling, it never ceases to amaze me. You know, getting in, trying to get. Somebody said Willowwood subdivision got power. Oh, that's good stuff right there, man. That's good deal. Good deal. Y'all let me know what y'all do today, man. I actually had to take the day off because even though they say it's a national holiday, I ain't got none of that love yet. We don't get holidays off. You kind of got to use. They give us a bunch of PTO, and we just kind of got to get in where we fit in and make it work. How we gonna make it do what it do, right? So yeah, I'm editing something right now, as always. Y'all, you know, I got something ready to roll. However, I just realized it's something that I need to add to it, so I'm gonna edit that up, and y'all just y'all let me know. Let me know what's good, what's going on. And I got something for you, bro. Hold on just a second, if y'all don't mind. I'm gonna put some. I'm working on something real quick, and y'all see why I'm doing what I'm doing in just a second. I don't want to do it raggedy, so y'all know how we coming. I'm gonna give Zoe and the squad a little time to come on if they're gonna come up tonight. If they don't, then we'll proceed. Got a couple of preliminaries we'll get through, and we'll go from there. But nevertheless, hopefully everybody had a good day. Did anybody do any cooking? Hopefully y'all did some cooking, man. Anybody do some cooking out there, man? Let me know what y'all did, man. I didn't. Like I said, just trying to get back in, get situated, and boy, traveling is always a task, man. Went over to Dallas, Texas, and yeah, and I got to see my nephew. Say I do, and I'm truly proud of him. Nephew, if you're watching, let me know. You out there, man. I might bring you up, man. You never can tell. You know what I'm saying? Might bring you up. All right, there we go. Let me extract this real quick and send this to myself. So I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna start with this because I want to start with this. I had one of our alums reach out to me, and he wanted me to highlight someone, a special someone, and we're gonna do that because y'all know this show is not just about. It's not just about Jackson State, but it is about Jackson State. But Jackson State is so much more than just, you know what I mean? It's so much more than just sports. You know, it's about the community, man. It's about everything Jackson State meant to everyone. And we was talking today, wound up having a really good conversation actually. And so let's see if I can't add this real quick, and we'll touch on it. So, loyal supporter of the channel, alum of Jackson State. He's a Boom alum. Shucks, man. We went to high school together. We did a lot together, man. Always calling, always. Brother Seeley, what's good? Spent a part of the day speaking to the group of young scholars traveling in the South, learning about the civil rights movement. Gotta love that, man. Just Brother Seeley always working. Definitely gonna have you up tonight, bro. And we're gonna talk some Juneteenth. We're gonna get into that. Austin put out a really awesome video. Y'all go to ASVP Visual socials, and especially on Twitter, mostly on Twitter, and check that out. Yeah, somebody said I'll take 500 a year. Give me 500 milli. I want reparations. How about that? You know what I mean? Give me reparations. But we're gonna dedicate this show, man, to a special someone, man, and that's we're gonna dedicate this show to Mr. Amos Wiltshire, who was the grandfather of our alum, my brother Anthony Mitchell. He reached out to me. He lost his grandfather actually on yesterday, on Father's Day. And we're going to go ahead and shout him out. And Mr. Amos Wiltshire. So we're going to send a special set of condolences for, my brother Ant and his whole entire family was watching. For those that don't know, Mr. Wiltshire, he was a loyal, and I do mean loyal Jackson State supporter. He's a long time, and I do mean long time season ticket holder. He lived to see the great age of 86 years old. And this is why I wanted to start. I wanted to start here, and I just, we started off doing this. Y'all know how we started, man. And I'm just always amazed at where this show has evolved. What is evolved into? You know what I mean? And He sat in the horseshoe, section 119, 119, 1 and 20, 119 and 120 in the lower bowl of the horseshoe. And but he's always been there. He was that one that would buy season tickets and give them away. And as he got of age, he really had a desire to come see the Tigers play because he wanted to come see Dion. Didn't get a chance. He said he didn't want to take it. He didn't want to bring his wheelchair. But you're talking about someone who and Brother Joe just joined. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey man.
What's up, D? I love family.
Oh, you got it, baby. Hey, I'm glad you joined right at this time because we shouting out brother. Hey, and Zoe. Hey, we in Miami last year, right? Right, and we was at we had an Airbnb and we doing the show live, from the Airbnb. And we had a couple of visitors to come in and chill with us and actually sit in the room with us while we were actually recording live. And Anthony and Mitchell is my boy, man. Always calling, and he was right there with my boy Dustin. You know what I'm saying? And his pops, and they love the show, love what we were doing, and just a lot of folks just want to just be around it, man, because it's such a we don't make this about us, man. We make it about everybody, and this is why Jackson State is so special, man. Because Ant was talking about this today. He said, "Man, I love when you said, man, why Jackson State don't have a on-campus stadium." I said, "Well, is the stadium in Jackson?" I said, "Well, it's on campus." Now, most people don't get it when we say that, Zoe. Like our stadium is on campus because Jackson is Jackson State. Campus. And people gotta understand, like, how many non-JSU alums that grew up in the city of Jackson, that Jackson State football meant everything to them. So it's not just about getting your education from Jackson State. It's about what JSU and Jackson State football and Jackson State sports has meant to a lot of the community in the city of Jackson. And what a day at the vet was like. You see the photo back there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man.
And he held on, man, for Father's Day, and he was saluted by the family. And and the good Lord said, "Your time is up. Well done." My good and faithful servant, and he called him on.
Man, well, condolences to him and his family, man, and all you could say at a time like this, man. It's been so rampant, in the past week, and want to relay again to everybody, man.
You're dealing with something.
Death is certain for everybody, and it's people die every day, man, and people are born every day. But all you can say is good job, humble servant, and
there you go.
You have to reflect on what he did with his dash, man. Because again, I tell everybody, it's just another daily reminder. I say it all the time. Whenever somebody passes, that is, be intentional on living. And the best way you can honor somebody when you lose them is to live in their honor. And like I said, be intentional on living.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better. I appreciate the perspective, and just definitely wanted to open the show. It's not a somber moment. It's not an end. It may be an end on this side for his family, but it's a new beginning for him on the other side. That side is the side we all gonna have to go, like you say. And you said, be intentional about your dash. I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to be, man. Leave a legacy, man. And I could tell, But this is why I'm glad you're here, Zoe, because again, man, we just how we coming, bro. You know what we in this for. You know how we get down, bro. And I'd be amazed at the amount of sometimes people reach out, man, and just and they tell us through no uncertain terms what this live stream. If y'all knew what I just had to go through to get to this stream right now, you'd be surprised. The amount of traffic and having logistical issues. And Zoe know what I'm talking about. I actually had to get rerouted to a whole different airport, take a shuttle to the train station, and take a lift, man. That was like damn near $100 to get home. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm glad it was either that or I was going to be at an airport until 10 p.m., which I wouldn't have got home to the next day. So but it's okay though. It's all good. This is y'all know, man. I'm a world traveler. You know, I move around when I have to. But like I said, I had to go home for my nephew's. I don't want to forget this now. He's a graduate of 833. Shout out to all the Lanier High School alums on the chat, on the channel. And he is a graduate of Lanier High School, man. So want to make sure we put that out there. Proud graduate of Lanier High School. So shout out to the 833 crew out there, man. In the chat, shout out to everybody that from the city of Jackson, man. So Brother Amos Wiltshire, you know, well done. Obviously, he's done a great job. He's had an impact. You know, your grandson has been one of my biggest cheerleaders, you know what I'm saying, that have called, you know, us being classmates all through grade school, you know, and just saying, man, I'm so proud of you, because he just talked about how much what we're doing is always needed. And it just goes to show whenever you can make an impact. So I said, absolutely. I said, absolutely. I said, you might open the floodgates for us now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we don't mind, bro. If any type of way we can make that happen, we'll definitely we'll do it for you guys, man. So God bless Brother Wiltshire. Rest in peace, rest in power, you know, and just, you know what I'm saying, well done, man. So salute to you, Brother Ant, you and your family. Hopefully everyone out back on the East Coast that's watching, you know, hopefully I didn't know your grandfather, you know what I mean, or your uncle, your brother, your father, but I will say this: you are a part of the legacy that he left behind, and I know his grandson, and I know the type of character and man that he is. So I know him, you know what I'm saying. So he done a great job, and I know what Jackson State football meant to him, and how he watched the show. He watched, you know what I'm saying. He was a supporter, man. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't get a chance to meet, but at the same time, he left an impact, and we wanted to make sure we honor him on this Juneteenth day. And happy Father's Day to all the men out there that are fathers, and hopefully everyone had a great Father's Day. And that's what I got. You got anything else before we move
on? I did want to just say, I just thought about when you mentioned Juneteenth. We do have one of the family in the chat. It's Brandy's birthday today.
Brandy, what up? You mean you got to come up, Brandy? Let us sing to you. Happy birthday. I can't sing.
I don't even know if she's in here. I hadn't seen her, but I don't know if she's in here. But it's on Juneteenth.
Oh, no. We ain't done with birthday shout outs, man. All right, we got to go. June the 19th is a very special day. June the 19th is my brother's birthday. Shout out to my big brother. If y'all don't know who I had my two big brothers on the photos that I shared on Saturday, for those that follow me on social media. But I definitely want to also dedicate this show to my brother Richard Clark. You know, he's 3 years older than me, and bro just hit the big. I ain't gonna put your age out there, bro. I'm gonna leave that one.
Oh man, happy birthday, man.
Hey, but you know what? He's 44. I said I was gonna leave it out. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man. The big 4-4, man. Double 4, man. Shout out to Richard. Shout out to big bro, Richard Clark. If you know him, you see him, you follow him on social media. Clark Insurance, man. Hit him up. Tell him happy birthday. Tell him that little bro just shouted him out on the live stream. If he's not watching already, it was great to see him and my brother Tim. As we stood in place of our older brother who was already transitioned to the other side. His son graduated. I mean, not graduated. His son got married, graduated the single life into the married life. Let me say it that way. And but happy birthday, bro. Love you, man. Hopefully you had a great day. Hopefully you had a great Father's Day and a great weekend, man. And We're gonna proceed, brother. So
I meant
yes.
to ask you.
Oh, and I got another one. Got another one, though. We got another one that just turned the big. I ain't gonna put your age out there, sis, but Miss Bonita Lou. She texted me. I wasn't gonna forget you, sis. Happy birthday to Bonita.
Happy birthday.
Yes, yeah, that's big sis right there, man. She be holding it down, man. I got, shout out to Bonita. Shout out to you, sis. Thank you for look at shit. Here you go. You said it. 5'8". You know what I'm saying? There you go. Hey, Thelma, what's up, cuz? How you doing? Hey. Yes, indeed. All right, man. But happy birthday. I hope I didn't forget anybody. But if I do, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to shout you out, man. Yeah. No doubt
Bro, I
about it.
meant to. Yeah, I didn't get a chance when I talked to you this morning. I meant to ask you, man, how did you enjoy that player's funeral over the weekend?
Hey, man, it was cool, man. It was really dope. I'm so proud of my nephew, man, and I'm so
That's
proud.
why. That's the real reason why men cried the way. It's a player's funeral. You know that, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he got a little choked up. You know what I'm saying? He got a little choked up. Heck, I got choked up because we had, we got up and we spoke, man, and we had a moment. You know what I'm saying? Where I still have my father as you do, Zoe, and mother as well, and his experience, their experience is a little different than mine's and
I
yours.
got you, man. Brings back the memory knowing your brother at the.
Well, we stood up, and the thing that got him is his best man. Shout out to Hilton, got him a charm, this dope charm with my brother's face on it, and that one got us. You know what I'm saying? It got everybody because it was. I saw it. He couldn't hold it back, and it's like, my brother Richard got up, and I knew we had to speak. When you address the bride and the groom, and and bro was like, "You want to speak?" So of course I spoke. You know what I'm saying? And not that my brother isn't very well spoken or either one of them, but I'm probably the orator or whatever in those types of spaces. And it was tough, man, because in that particular instance, my brother is a great orator, but uniquely, after my nephew graduated Jackson State 2013, I had just moved to Austin. And he called me and was like, "Oh, can I come stay with you? Can I come to Austin?" So his coming to Austin was on the back of me going to Austin. You know what I'm saying? And I always say I felt like God gave him to me because I didn't have a son to raise, and here I have this young man that's so ambitious, man, that's so eager to be successful, and he got like 1,700 businesses. The boy is just grinding it out, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And Zoe, because he stayed at the Airbnb with us, and he's just a go-getter, man. And so addressing him and just saying, "Hey, man, I'm proud of you." There's a level of accountability that we're going to hold him accountable, and I made sure his bride knew that. And his family knew, but I've always been the uncle. I'm not one of them standover hover type. I'm gonna let you make your mistakes and then just try to guide you in the best way I know how. And just he's done a great job, man. Beautiful family, beautiful. He's done a great job, man. Great career, great businesses, and he's a JSU alum. He loved what we do, bro. And he was like, "Oh man, y'all getting an Airbnb in Miami." I was like, more than likely from the prices, that's what it looking like. He said, "Man, I want to be with y'all, man. I just want to be rounded." He's like, "Uncle, y'all doing it big." You know what I'm saying? So, it's the heck was that? But so that's what he was like, man. So he, folks like to be around what we doing, man. We having fun, man. We just they see we like a bunch of kids having fun and we doing our thing. So shout out to him. I think that's the preliminaries. I'm gonna go ahead and remove Brother Wiltshire, but to the Wiltshire family.
Yeah, man. Condolences to him.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. But hey, listen, y'all. We staring at the finish line on this initiative. We really are, and let's get them donations rolling. I see that I did got some other. Let me make sure I stay on top of this, man, because I'm gonna let y'all know whenever we get it popping. Oh, we got Sister Rochelle on this thing early. Hey, I saw you out there cutting up now. She put that, hey, she put that it on. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. What? What are you
But
talking
happy Juneteenth, Rochelle.
Hey, lighten your voice up some.
about? Shut up, Zoe. What you talking about, Ken?
I saw you out there, man. You stepped out on it, didn't you? Over the weekend. Hey, so she stepped out, let him know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I done released this little weight. I'm about to go out here and cut up.
Look, okay, can I just share something which I was hilarious? We went to some girls. We went to see this lady sing at this small place, but it's intimate. So when I walked in the jumpsuit, everybody was like, they just stared at me. So this one older guy, he was like, "Excuse me, are you famous?" And I was like, "No." He said, "Are you a star?" I was like, "No,
Yes,
sir, I'm
you
not."
are what
He
you
said, so he
say.
said, "Can I take a picture of you?" And I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"Shoot." So wait, so he took the picture, and I guess the picture didn't come right. So we were at the bar waiting for our food. He said, "Ma'am, can you do a selfie for me? Because it don't look like you." So I turned around and said, "Would you like to be in the picture?" He was like, "Could I?" So I took a picture. Well, I was like, that is hilarious. But that outfit disturbed a lot of spirits that it did.
Disturbing the peace.
It
Oh my goodness.
disturbed
You
some
said it
spirits.
disturbed a lot of
And
spirit.
I was just, well, you know what was beautiful about it is you can be fully clothed
Oh, it don't make no difference.
and
You
sexy.
know, they gonna yeah. What they gonna do with their eyes? They gonna that don't what you got on don't make no difference no way.
See, now that wasn't my walk. That walk, I slowed the walk down. Who is
Hey,
this?
say yes, Miss Michelle.
Hold
I
on. What you
slowed the
hold on,
walk.
hold on, hold on. What you slowing down to walk for?
No, listen to
Hey,
me.
Zoe, you didn't see it?
No, I ain't see it, but I'm hearing her talk right now. And
Oh,
she like
well,
trying
you
to
gotta
humble
go
brag.
watch
What you
it,
slowing to walk for?
man. He had to walk, you know what I'm saying?
Now
All the
see, in about
videos.
10 more years from now, when you walking slow naturally, don't be saying that.
No,
No, no.
you got
What
to
I'm
go
saying is, though, my
slow it
friend
down.
video.
So
I
she
said,
wanted to make sure they could
you got
see
to
it.
see the videos, though. You might want to show it to him. But look, Zoe, what I
Nah,
did was
I don't
no,
want to see
I
it
had
because you
on
already got.
clothes.
You know you already.
I had a video, and when I edited, I slowed my walk into a slow motion.
Hold on. Did Amber see? I mean, did Randy see this slow walk?
Now, for
I
Randy,
was out.
he'll come on up here now if he saw that one. Yeah, he.
They talking about where to go to see it.
I said somebody. I was like somebody gonna jump in her inbox behind this one. I said, look at sis. I'm sitting up there like I'm telling you, I'm gonna have me having to fight these folks. KJ, she on here. You cutting
If
up
Randy,
too.
if Randy
Cutting
pop
up
up on
too.
this thing in the next 5 minutes, I know something too.
That you trying to make Randy just
No.
I can't. I'm not playing the video. I don't have the video. Y'all just got to go to a social, man.
That video was I shocked myself, but you know what, on the for real
But you
is
know what though? I gotta say this. You do that when you hey, listen, you work hard to get your progress. So I ain't
listen.
mad at you, man. You got to let them know I earned it. This is
Well, guess what? She showed they come on here talking about releasing
earned.
nothing, did it?
What you say, Zoe?
You showed they come on here talking about releasing nothing, did you?
I yes, I did. Listen, okay,
She need a situation. Cat. No, she don't. No, she don't. No, she don't. No, she don't. Look at Fred. Fred know what time it is. So she was showing out. Everybody that was looking, they gonna say something in the chat. They gonna watch. Mm-hmm.
hold on.
No, man. But anywho, we rocking and rolling. We trying to get this money. We gotta close it. We gotta close this thing out, man. It's time. It's time
Can
to
I
go.
just say when you said we're only, I was like, do y'all would check this out? I want y'all to understand this. We have raised $37,000. Are y'all understanding how big this is? I mean, I was going, and y'all come on. You know, when we first started this, we were talking about $1,000. We thought that was, oh my gosh, we have raised 37 freaking
There you go,
thousand.
Zoe. You done added music.
Hold on, time out. What you laughing for? I got it now. I can't watch it right now, but I'm watching it on. I'm gonna critique tomorrow. I mean Wednesday.
I want him to listen. I worked hard for that. Don't show that picture. You on mute.
I
You
can't
on
show
mute.
nothing. I'm gonna
You
show
on mute.
Randy. Something that happened.
We can't hear you, Ken.
Because I was on mute.
I'm listen. I say, go. I'm not going. I'm not. I am. Listen, let me tell y'all something. And I ain't done. I still got like 15 more pounds to release, but I'm gaining some muscle. I'm
gotta
gonna
get
get
there
into the
too.
gym and hit the weights hard on my legs. And yeah.
Yeah, we man, y'all make sure y'all and speaking of that, man, make sure y'all take care. So this heat been crazy. The weather's been crazy.
Yes.
Hopefully everybody is getting their power restored. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was muted. My mistake. Yeah, 37K is where we cooking, man. We
I'm
cooking.
telling y'all, that is amazing.
Cooking with some fish grease now. But the goal is 50. We can make that happen, man. So
Yes, we can.
like I was saying, and we've
And I
already
think if you play that video, we might get 15,000.
I ain't gonna play it. I ain't doing that. Nope. No, if that would it take, praying for the people in Moss Point, man.
Yeah.
Man, wow. Moss Point, home of Devin Booker.
Do that downtown.
Yeah, man.
I talked to Ron. He actually texted. He don't have any power. He said, but he's still grateful. Hey, KJ, for coming a member. Yeah. I said, I'm gonna post it on my Twitter account and so y'all can see the walk. Hey.
I don't have power neither.
You don't?
No.
Wow.
He said he didn't have it. He was like he said I'm still grateful, but we don't have power. So listen.
Gotta invest in some generators, man. I'm pretty sure all them jokers gone right now. You can't probably find a generator nowhere in a 150-mile radius right now.
No, that ain't true. All the water that's 10,000 over. It's plenty of them.
Hey man, listen. Hey, prayers to everybody, man. Gotta make sure we stay on top of that. Stretch your stuff, Auntie, with your bad self. I told you, man. I'm fighting them. I'm gonna have to fight one of these old dudes, man. We gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? You bring your own. Hey, listen. That's why I told you. You coming to the first game? I don't care what you say. She's gonna be right there. We doing it live on the scene in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, you gonna get all them sugar daddies in there over there.
Not sugar daddy, not sugar daddy.
Like, hey, here to see Ken. We don't care about no Ken. What's up, Ken and Zoe? Where Rochelle at? That's how they gonna be.
Oh, KJ said the young was too. Okay.
I see, KJ said it. See, she right on with it. She ain't lying. Y'all out here cutting up.
Let me ask you this. It's raining, but it's hot too, though.
That's that Maxwell House container on the back of Grandma's stove with the yeah.
With the tea.
Hey, you know what? My bad. I said I'm gonna just say sugar daddy. I ain't gonna say old sugar daddy. How about just sugar daddy? See, Brother Joy, right, brother. I don't want to see the video. See the video. You know what? I might have to mute it and just play it anyway. Take the volume out that thing.
Oh my God. I can't see.
But no, we keeping it going. So yeah, we have some fun with it, man. And hey, Auntie. Oh yeah. Hey, he said if they whisper honey pack run. Boy, y'all already cutting up, man. Y'all call them cake daddies. There you go, cake daddies. Got to reach that goal by any means necessary.
Listen.
Listen, I tell y'all what, if we get to 45, I'm gonna put that thing on the screen for you. You hear me? Yeah, we gotta get to 45 tonight.
Patty cake.
But nevertheless, man, whether you use PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, however, keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling.
Don't forget, put your on the thing and pin it to the top. Well, you need to start doing that every time you come on your link tree.
Yeah, I have to go in the actual YouTube.
$5 Fridays. Listen, I'm telling you, well, why he finding that on the for realness?
Yeah, I have to go in the actual.
We have to really, I just want to thank everybody. And I'm still believing in small donations and anything. Listen, give what you can, because I can't, I'm gonna give some more because I'm excited. I want to know what I'm giving to so I can be pumped. I'm already excited. How am I excited? I don't even know what I'm giving to, but because of what they telling us we're giving it, I'm like, okay, let's do this. So continue to
you're gonna be, everybody's gonna be.
I believe it, but that's what I'm saying. I want to thank y'all, seriously. Give what you can. We go believe in this thing. And I'm telling you, know what? I know in my heart of hearts that once we give it and we see what we're giving to, it's gonna be no stopping. And especially when the 501c3 come along and we do this all under that, it's gonna be even better. So again, I want to thank y'all. Let's do this, and we're gonna be okay. So if you can give extra, go ahead on, pray and just give it. Just ask the Lord to bless it. I'm telling y'all right now, give it. I believe in us, and I just believe in small donations. How many of us in this room right now? Ken?
We have 470.
We have 470. Listen, on Juneteenth, and this is the part. The reason I pray that we can get it tonight is that because
we will.
And this is the biggest thing, though, to do it on Juneteenth. And again, we as a people don't know our worth.
Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all why we.
He didn't see the video. He was the Commodores.
He said, I just saw the video. Jangalang.
Oh my God.
Well, y'all is brutal, man.
Thank you. So thank you so
Black
much.
Collar old folk. Come on with it, y'all. Shucks. We doing well, man. We've had a lot of donations, man. And you believe you me when I tell you. And this is why I'm gonna say this. We there's a reason why we want to go ahead and knock this one out, because we got another athletics fundraiser going on, and I want to talk about that. June 26th. Save the date, June 26th. This is for those that'll be local in the city of Jackson.
Make sure you read the fine print at the bottom.
So, attire is cocktail, business dressing. This is an evening of celebration for JSU athletics. Of course, yours truly will be there for this event. Definitely. This is another one. So this one here is going to be, now I want to say it this way, because where we're going to get in, just entry alone is going to be a part of the fundraiser. You have some big players. Not everybody watches KC 1400 Media Group. They don't watch us on YouTube, and not everybody is aware of what we're doing. So we wouldn't dare shoot for the 25K or even the 15. We just want to be there, because being present is enough, for those that do watch the show, for those that do what we that do know what we're doing. And this is on top of everything else that's going on. So I love just the creativity. Shout out to the president, Dr. Hayes Anthony, for spearheading this. I think this is the first time we've ever had like an athletics fundraiser like this.
First time ever.
First time ever. This has never happened. So
I'm so excited for us.
So this is amazing. Shout out to A.D. Robinson and his staff and everyone that has a hand in this. And it's gonna be amazing. It's not gonna be But when we celebrate at JSU Athletics, of course, you got to have a crew up in that thing. You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely be represented. I know Zoe this weekend is still dealing with his family. So this is Monday, June 26th, and we plan on being present. So I'll definitely be there for that, and I'll head on out, coming in just for this, and then I'm back out. But nevertheless, we want I mean, if you want to, it starts at 250 and up.
And
So,
that's not a lot for a fundraiser, to be honest with you.
but when you look at the 250, you have that's 100. So you're looking at
right.
That's 25K just on walk-ups.
I got you. That's what I'm saying.
Then you're talking about
excited about it.
500, 80 of those spots. You got for 1,000. You got, I think you got. Last I checked, it was like 34 of those. Then you have the swag table. You have the guard the yard cabana. See, the cool part about
I love this.
myself is we don't need no section. We're gonna be visiting. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be moving around. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be chopping it up. So as long as we get in that thing and put in something in the pot and contribute, we're gonna do that. And the biggest goal for me is to be present. But I just wanted to mention that because I was asked to share this. So June 26th at the M Bar.
Okay, so check this out. I'm looking at the thing, and we got over 450 people in the room. This is where we gonna go. How many of you right now can do 100? Hit it. I've already said 50. I got like 5 other people that said 50. We gonna break this thing down for hundreds, 50s, 20s, 10s, and 5.
Like the way
we want all of y'all coins. So I'm thinking, listen. So this is what we're talking. If you and after we get to 45, let me tell you something. That video worth about $13,000. That video about worth $13,000 ain't about. Listen, that walk I walked on that video is worth some coins.
Walk that walk, you walk that walk. Yeah.
I'm serious. But let's
Hey, is this thing on? This thing on? We like the kind that jingles, but we'd rather have the kind that folds.
Right. We asking for folding. So how many can do 100? How many can do 50? How many can do 25? I mean, seriously, we're going to go down this thing.
Let's get as many as we can.
And let's get as many as we can that can do it. And this is the thing. I want you to tell you something. When you say I can do 5, we gonna praise you. I'm serious. We are gonna praise all of y'all. If you can hit 100, hit it. If you can hit 50, hit it. If you can hit 20 in between, whatever you can hit. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Is 450 of us in here. If we hit what we need to hit, we would get this. And don't you feel bad to say, I ain't got but 5. I'm telling you, God will multiply. We want your 5. We want your whatever you have. We want it. So look at that. We thank you. So we grateful.
I'll say this though, we did an initiative, right? So you know where we're going. If you ain't checked out the Jackson State page today, check it out. Because Coach Beef actually tagged me on there on the page and on one of the slides that he put up. It's that 10-yard fly. Guess how he got these numbers, Rochelle?
Wow.
The 2 systems, the speed testers that we purchased, that we raised through this channel.
Okay. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. So of course you got the skill guys, you got the mids, mainly running backs, and then you got some big defense, the big guys. And it just goes to show you kind of like got some good speed on this team. Some shockers too, man. It look like Herb Mulligan might be the fastest running back. What you thought about that, Zoe? I like that.
And can I just tell everybody in the chat, this is y'all helping us do this. This is what we gave our team. Y'all understanding this? Ain't y'all excited? Okay. Am I the only one excited up in here that we was a part of this and we giving our team some top-notch stuff? Come on, and then they showing us that they're using what we giving them. Come on, y'all. Give yourself a clap, 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 clap. Okay, I'm done.
Don't be done. All right, get up and get me.
Zoe, you unmuted. You got something to say? Is you muted? I don't think you are. Wait, go on and talk. Oh, now you muted yourself.
I don't know what the heck Zoe doing. But yeah, this is pretty good, man. I really like this, man. This is pretty exciting.
So for anybody who wants to know what those numbers represent, this was a laser timer on a speed test they ran. This is not 40 times, by the way, but the speed test they had, the highest you can get is 100. All right, which is almost impossible for anybody to get. So you can see, where they are on these numbers.
We got Jensen. Jensen had to say something. We're gonna get to you, big dog. I see you over there smoking everybody, but keep going.
And so you can so the numbers kind of tell you for themselves. So Jesse is smoking like like we told you guys, man. And like you trying to tell everybody, man, that dude is a weapon. I mean, to have his size and his speed at that position, and the look, there goes the data to show you, But also, man, look at Herb and then Andre Hunt, who I told you, Ken, is, excuse me, probably
I
the
can't
best.
even. I can't. This is no disrespect to Andre. I'm shocked because I didn't know. I had no clue.
And apparently this thing though, you can't think what you're running because it shows you your truth, huh?
Listen, you run a 4-4 for real. I know Jesse challenged Coach Prime when he first got there, boy.
Before we get there, can we just give a shout out to the money coming in? Look at this. 100 cents, 50 cents. Come on.
This phone going off over here. I love
25 cents.
I ain't gonna look at it.
100 cents. Listen, come on.
We'll add it up. I'm gonna just leave it alone.
I'm just pumped because I got mine. Forget it. I'm gonna do you a Zelle.
Bro, Cheryl been in California too long. She don't sound Southern at all. Listen, come on.
Shut up. So I'm so freaking excited. And I love y'all so much. I'm just excited. I am. So let's go.
My own nation. Listen, Retro, you so boy, you a Jacktown Jew, boy. I ain't never seen one, boy. Yes, indeed. In high school, he was a low 4.5. Okay. You saying you done got better. Look at man. I'm loving the big guys, man. Look at the big Junior and Devontae Davis running about the same speed. Athens Smith. A lot of people don't know that name, do they, Zoe? They know it now. All you gotta do is Google it.
So this right here, then Zoe and Ken, seeing them doing this, that means when it gets them hyped, so when they do it again, they want to continue to beat their regular score.
It is.
Okay.
Man, we're doing a lot of things right now. I love our strength staff, man. Shout out to Coach Beef and staff, man, and all his colleagues that he worked with over there doing their part to try to get us, our student athletes, in the best possible shape that they could be in. And we got more coming. You know what I'm saying? Just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Okay, James, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to race him in the morning.
Hey, Eric Simmons is fast. But if you look at this, Jaheim Hazel, that's the DB. That boy got some speed, man. Isaiah Spencer in that thing, Madison Central. Boy got speed, man.
And
I'm gonna tell y'all now, if anybody on this live is robbing me on Monopoly Go, you're gonna see something.
Man, I love it, man. You guys are come on with it, man. Come on with it.
Hold on, I'm finna sell you 100. I'm telling you, and this one I can tell you, I have donated more to Jackson State this year.
I'm finna figure out a way to put that video up here too, Michelle. Oh, they need to. I need them to be. I got you, bro.
You gotta play that song. Now let me see you walk.
Shut up, Zoe. All the done. Come on, we know you love, so y'all tell been robbing me.
Hey, that's it. You just cutting up, man. Look at it. I gotta put that on. I need it. It's blurry on my end.
Is it?
Yeah, it's blurry. It's blurry.
The one I sent you blurry?
Nah, LaDon, you tried to rob me earlier today. You got me back on my phone to play the game. You were robbing me, LaDon. I meant to tell you about that too.
I mean, Ken, the one I sent you is blurry. That came from me. I texted to you.
Yeah. Well, it's actually okay. It's you know what? The hell with it. I'm gonna roll with it. Give me a second.
I'm doing this for the love of my school. Austin, I wasn't cutting up, but you know what's funny? Men ain't nothing nice. Every my phone going out, bleep bleep, following you from your reel, bleep bleep, and all of them are men follow me. I said, I'm men is a mess. I'm like, y'all a mess.
Hey y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. We get to 45K tonight. We knocked this goal out. I'm gonna drop that video, man. Like also be teasing up with them videos.
Oh my God.
Still waiting on that track video. Keep going.
You a mess. The video that they showed of the Sonic Boom, that was so amazing. Was it hot out there? Them babies was sweating. See, look, another one.
Was it hot?
I don't know what the weather is in Mississippi.
Yeah, it was hot. Scorching.
Listen, hypnotized fit.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. That's a real good one.
Oh my God.
That's actually a real good one, for real.
He said that video might come across.
Well, never mind then. Never mind. We'll leave that alone then. My bad, Austin. My bad. If AD told you, if you got to give me the 411, man, on the give me the lowdown, big dog.
Yeah, I need y'all brothers to donate. Donate.
Wait a minute. Where's my? Oh, the video ain't stopped. That's why.
What he gonna? She done say she thought that video gonna bring in some donations.
That's the whole point.
Oh my God! Come on with the retirement checks donations. Listen, who had a golf thing that said that we want the donations? We gonna hit this on Juneteenth because weeds is free.
Girl, you silly.
We are freeing ourselves from small mind thinking. We are freeing ourselves, realizing that Jackson State and us.
Well, there she go, Ken. There she go.
Who that?
Brandy.
Brandy. Hey, happy birthday, Brandy. Happy birthday to you, man.
Here goes Austin. Rochelle, tell the men to DM you to buy season tickets. So donate to the league.
Speaking of birthdays, though, I you know me, man. My memory has been atrocious. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't make excuses, but I had a good friend of mine that I forgot their birthday, and they got mad at me. And I just want to say I apologize for forgetting birthdays. I ain't mean nothing by it. I really didn't. I be moving around too much. So what I told you I'm doing now, I'm writing stuff down now, bro.
Told you. But you know, man, you got a built-in coupon. It's called, "Hey man, blame my head, not my heart." That's all you say.
It is, man. It really was. I think I got it, Rochelle. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. I'm gonna play this thing. I'm gonna play it. Oh, you know what? You know what? I can't. I got it. I turn
Nothing.
I turned my phone down.
Okay.
I thought the volume wasn't on here. It actually is on here. I just need to. Oops. Let me turn the volume down on this thing.
And you did. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
doing it. Yeah, man. Any women in the chat, man? Did any of you guys go to the women's football classic over the weekend?
The clinic was a major success. Shout out to all the ladies, man. Y'all come. Matter of fact, if y'all went to the clinic or anybody that went up there, man, y'all let us know. Come on up, let's chop it up, man. The chat is open.
Right. I'm gonna donate $100 to the cause. I don't know what y'all talking about. Let's go.
Hey Rochelle, you know you can feel free to release some.
My birthday actually passed in April, man, and yeah, I had a great birthday, and you know I have to say I appreciate everybody that blessed me for my birthday, and if I did turn around and forget because I had a lot going on, blame my head, not my heart, man.
Hey man, you better learn that down pat, bro.
I'm getting there, Zoe. I really am, bro. I felt bad, bro, because I was like, I can't believe I messed that up, bro.
Hey, Miss Sarah Foot, drop the link here. Miss Sarah Foot, come up and tell us about the clinic, man, so we can actually get a good insider.
I dropped the link out there twice now. Come on up and talk to us.
$100 cent. Told y'all I'm not playing up. Whatever y'all ask me, I'm doing. I'm rolling too. Just come on, 20. Yes, Lord, come on.
You can go ahead and release some. You can release some money too. Since you know
I
you
did.
got.
I just released $100 though.
He said you can release some
Yeah,
money.
y'all gonna need some seatbelts if you show that video. Fasten your seatbelt.
You see that cord right there? I'm plugging up.
Yeah, you see.
Please put your seats in an upright position.
You said let Miss Foot come on. She was the main one. Come on, Miss Foot.
Come on, Miss Foot.
Y'all got to talk, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go, Sir Retro, man. We want the women, man. What's up, man?
No. This is about Jensen right now, bro.
Oh my goodness. What you done got Jesse started on? Y'all boy cutting up, ain't it?
First off, it's just about no, it's just you about fault. And then just I hope you be a part of the JSU by fault. Now, I'm in the town, Jensen. If you want to schedule that race, bro, yeah, I'm on you, bro. Yeah, just like that.
This man said he gonna get you, Jesse. So hey, look here. Hold on just a second.
Hey, Sir Retro. Now you know you represent that North now.
Most definitely, C-Way, D-Way, just like that. Yeah. Man, tell them about it, Zoe. Man, what these folk be talking about, bro? Hey, look, just I'm finna send you way back to New Orleans, bro. You hear me? Just like that, bro. Yeah. I'm in the city this time, bro. I ain't gone nowhere. What you wanna do, baby? You hear me? He done got scared.
Hey man. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure I got me. We're gonna be ready to roll. Hold on.
Oh, who that is?
Y'all see that slow walk right there?
Rochelle?
Hey, hold on, man. Hey, hold on. I got questions now. Rochelle, how many times you looked in the mirror practice that walk, man?
Hey, no, hold on. I just want to go back to Sir Retro said. Who that is? His whole voice changed. He went from I'm in the city, man. Rochelle?
Chill. I meant to tell the truth. How many times you got in front of the mirror to practice that walk?
So I didn't. I told you it was just a
It's like the women was out here doing things for Obama, and here you go. You want to be the woman version of it.
No.
So let me go get my baby piggy.
Like Rochelle, it's like you could be Willie Dynamite and old lady or something.
No.
I don't know if y'all ever seen Willie Dynamite, but Rochelle walking like she Willie Dynamite old lady.
Oh
Wait a minute, bro. What is J stand? Hold on, I got to remove this. Y'all cutting all the way up, man. That man said Jill.
my God. Who is Sir Retro? His
That's what I'm
Oh my God.
Hey man, listen, man. Y'all go ahead and send these donations, man. Send these donations. Y'all got me over here working extra hard, so y'all get a sneak peek and all this.
Hey man, all you see is TCT on that video.
What that mean?
Listen,
Cougar
so what happened was I was working out hard.
Cougar coming through.
I just asked my friend. No, so the only thing I did it was a regular walk, and he
Stop. That ain't no Rochelle, stop. It is not a regular walk.
killing me.
You stopped because you knew you were being recorded. Ain't nothing regular about that.
Listen, wait, Sir Retro, who is that? Okay, so going back, and what I did, so I just did the regular walk, and then I did slow motion. That was and I was like 57 representing. That's all.
Hold on, Rochelle. Tell them how old you be.
Say what? I did put a hashtag Mississippi made. I represented Mississippi, so All natural. Hashtag all natural. Mississippi made. 57.
So retro, so retro looking at you like you're the cold grit.
Spirit, man. Michelle gonna be with me, man. I ain't letting y'all get. Y'all got to go through me to get the. What do they call it when you Oh man, what's the word, bro? When you I want to say filter through. What's the word I'm looking for? Y'all gonna have me. I'll think of it in a minute.
Okay, who is this young? He is confused.
He ain't confused. He ain't confused.
You don't know what to say today. Tread lightly.
Oh my God.
Bounce, chicka, bounce, bounce, chicka, bounce, 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 chicka, bounce, chicka, bounce, bounce, chicka, bounce, chicka, bounce, chicka, bounce, bounce, bounce. Hip dip. Pause for him and turn. Yes. Hey, you did a good job, sis.
Hey man, you ever seen somebody? You ever go fishing, King?
Yeah.
You ever seen somebody go put a trout line out in the morning?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you do at that video, dog. That ain't number bait. Look at that. That's a bait for some youngins.
Hey, go back. Yeah, that's what I be talking about.
That ain't what you talking about, dog.
Hey man, he said retro ain't blinked once.
Hey, so retro, you ever ate buttermilk cornbread?
Man, come on, bro. Stop playing with me.
Nah, dog. You ain't never ate no buttermilk cornbread.
Man, come on, bro.
You from North Carolina, right?
Oh no, I'm born and raised out south, baby. You hear me? I graduated out now. Jumped out the porch out now.
Okay.
Hey, I need them ladies.
Look, Rochelle from dog. You don't jump off no porch. You jump off in a pasture, dog. What's your
Hey, look. First off, okay, so yeah, man. Hey, look. Okay, so when I get off this, I'm gonna get off. Yeah, when I get through saying, God damn.
Come on, man.
Pardon my language, bro. When I step off, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep 'cause I got to be up in the morning. But I had two things. Okay, so Jensen, I already challenged you, bro, and you punked out. Yeah. That number two, I want to ask. Okay, so I'm gonna get my season ticket, but you know, Ken is out. Y'all already know I'm a truck driver,
Yeah.
so the vast majority of the games I ain't gonna be at like talking about anyway, you know. But I'm gonna get them anyway, right? But I do want to know, like specifically when we talking about them classics and like the MEAC swag challenge and stuff like that. When I get my season tickets, does that finance goes towards the school too? You know, like when we talking about the classic and stuff. I know it
Well,
go towards school when they talking about home games and stuff like that. You know.
well,
no.
they don't go towards that. It goes toward the ticket sales go towards the event holder. I'm assuming we get
Talking
our
about
whatever.
like,
Yeah,
well,
classic get paid. We get expenses paid. I think on that one.
we get paid for the classics. You understand? Classes are ran either by a school or a promoter, so we're
Yep.
paid to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's a contract,
They
but the
get
season tickets goes totally for what I'm saying to the school.
Okay, so in order for my finance to go to the school, specifically when we dealing with the MEAC Classic and MEAC Challenge, MEAC Sweat Challenge and the Classic, I need to buy that ticket specifically.
Correct.
yeah, no doubt. All those actually, you might want to buy every game that's not at home. You know what I mean? That every game is an individual thing. Season tickets is only covering the 4th season home games.
Okay, got it. That's
Yeah.
all I need to know, y'all.
No, you good.
I ain't
You
in
good.
mind.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace out, brother.
JSU by 40.
Hey, speaking of the MEAC Swag Challenge, I'm gonna put this up there. Guard the Yard, 826. Get your tailgate ticket. We got a limited amount of tickets left. I told you. Shout out to Sylvester in the Atlanta chapter.
Hey, we said, I mean, cut you off, but you said his name, and we've said Sylvester's name.
Sylvester
I
Taylor.
know in the past 2 weeks quite a bit, and every single time, man, shout out to Sylvester because, man, every time JSU comes to Atlanta, man, Sylvester and the Atlanta chapter of the JSU Alumni Association, man, they actually do the damn thing for any and all things JSU when they come to Metro Atlanta, man. So just shout out to Sylvester, them, man, and everybody else associated, and affiliated with that chapter.
Oh yeah, and then also shout out to the Houston chapter. I don't have any photos, but I did see 1400 Club Thad Reed, and they actually had the president out there. They had AD Robinson out there, Coach TC Taylor out there. They came and they actually raised. They had a goal that they wanted to hit on some funds. They had a challenge and they exceeded it. So definitely. They spoke to Sylvester Morris today. Oh yeah, we definitely getting in touch. I actually talked to we're gonna be getting brother Jackie Walker scheduled to do an interview with us soon. So made contact with him today and shooting for the 26th. That date is tentative because we do have that fundraiser, but we may be able to get that interview out of the way on that day, but we'll see. So. I understand everybody's gripe, but this is a rotational thing. With the thing that took away our possibility for a fifth home game was the Southern game. So if you look at the negotiations, they came to us last year. Remember the college game day. So that's the game that was supposed to go to Birmingham. If we play that game in Birmingham for 2 years, then it's still another classic that we got to get on the road for and could have made some money. Whatever. I don't know what happened with that. However, the two ADs agreed that they would have that game, do a home and home. So since they came, we're going to go to Baton Rouge this weekend. I mean, not this weekend, this year. And so what you got to look at is in 2024, we have the potential to have 6 home games. Because if we don't go to Baton Rouge this year, then we're going to be in Birmingham this year and next year. So we lose that home game for next year. That's the only opportunity that we had to have another home game this year. So you have to decide, do you want to just walk away from Southern completely for the next 2 years? Or would you rather have a fifth home game in 2023, when in actuality you can have an extra home game in 2024? Because keep in mind, we can have 12 games. So the 2024 is that year that's going to allow us to have 12 games. So in that 12 game season, we should be able to get 6 home games. Should.
The plan is going forward every year, not just in 2024, because I don't think everybody knew 2024 because of how the dates fall. All your can get 12 games.
The Southern game was actually going to fall off, so there was not going to be a Southern game for 23 or 24.
Yeah,
so don't get that screwed. Like playing Southern means that we're sacrificing an opportunity to have a fifth home game. So you got to ask yourself, is it more important? So our athletic director and their athletic director agreed that it made more sense to have that game than it was to walk away from it for 2 years. That's not my opinion. I mean, that's their decision that they made. So you also got to understand we have an 8-game SWAC schedule. So we can only play 11 games. We rotated for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. We're in the Orange Blossom Classic. And it kind of is what it is. So I understand. I'm not knocking anybody's feeling on how they feel. I would love to have a fifth home game as well. But our fifth home game is going to be the SWAC Championship.
Come on, fifth home game.
Well, the plan going forward too, just so everyone knows the reason why things are set up this year. The plan going forward,
That would have been my plan too, but I ain't mean to cut you off, though. I would have rather walk away from the Southern game for 2 years and build that.
I have 6 home games going forward. That's going to be the plan going forward from here on out.
Well, it's going to be some years we're going to have 5 because it's going to be hard to get 6. But I'm with you. I'm with you, Mark. I really am. I just that's just me. I'd rather have a home game than to go to Baton Rouge and play them. I hate going to Baton Rouge. So it is what it is. But see, this is you see, you got a lot of people that feel we gotta play Southern. Yeah, I understand that sentiment too. I do, but whatever. So you gotta ask yourself, So I would like to know the financials of having a classic versus a home game. Whatnot. Just keep in mind, it costs us. We that's why we gotta sell season tickets, man. We got
to answer that question. Those are different parameters. That number doesn't equate across the board. Now for JSU, it's simple math. If you want to just use the last 2 years as your baseline, we did 42,000 last year. Just do the math on average what you spend for ticket, put it for 42,000, and there you go. Now the only thing about that is that's your gross, that's not your net, because you got to look at what the expenses are for having the game. Now, granted, this year our expenses are going to go up a little bit because 3 of the 4 home games are going to be at night. Also bear in mind too, not all classics pay the same amount. It's not a set price what we're paying or what we receive for every classic. They vary.
That's right. Spot on, brother.
So check this out, everybody. We have over 500 people in the space tonight, and we are grateful. Happy Juneteenth.
Jeremiah. Man, hey, what up, Jay Meyer? Man, I appreciate that, bro. He coming through with it.
Can you be so kind to exit the chat and like our stream, and also let us know what state you are representing? Because listen, we excited. Ain't y'all excited? We finna do this thing. So we finna walk it out. Come on, let's go.
My boy, man. Big Jamal up in this thing, man. What up, J Mal? Yeah. I'm seeing some familiar faces and names in this thing, man. I'm seeing some folks I ain't seen in a while. I love it, man. Y'all keep it coming. We're gonna hit this goal, man.
We're playing in Mobile because we're getting out of the classic that we signed. It was a 3-year deal. We're supposed to be playing in Huntsville this year. But because we want to get out of the contract, that's why we're going back to Birmingham to fulfill our obligation of 2 games in Mobile.
So we can be out of it in 24.
So we can be out of it at the end of the season.
So I get it. I mean, this is the thing, though. Like every game is not a Jackson State versus Southern and Jackson. So this year, you're going to look at, we got 3 home games that are going to be monstrous in attendance. The only game in question is Texas Southern. But I do feel like because we got 4 games, that's going to be some of the games. They're going to be some of the only games some people are going to go to. They're not going to travel. So because of that, they're going to go to those games. But the first home game is going to be, we need to be in there deep. So the second home game is homecoming. Y'all know what we're going to do for homecoming. The third game is the Texas Southern game. And the last game is Alcorn. I'm not worried about Alcorn or
State
or homecomings. I'm not even worried about Bethune-Cookman, really, because that's the first home game. So usually that first home game going to hit pretty solid.
Especially after a month.
Yep.
Especially if you're undefeated.
I thought the same thing, DJ, but this is why. So that Mobile game was a $450,000 payout. Alabama A&M don't travel. They don't travel like that. Like we're not gonna get. Maybe we get a few thousand to come. So they're not that visitor side is gonna be super thin. You could throw a rock over there and miss a whole bunch of people.
Here's the big kicker, though.
we have to look at the numbers as to what we're making on that game versus what we could make even when you factor in expenses. So it doesn't matter with ticket sales because we're getting paid off the top. So if we're getting paid on the front end for a game that's a low revenue game for us, even if it is a home game, that's why that's where the business side of it kind of, I would assume, comes into play.
Well, here's the caveat. That's true, but the biggest caveat over all of that is it's a conference game. You're going to get nothing. See, what people have to understand is you don't make money on conference games.
Not on the road either. So we're making money both years.
You have an expense when you go on the road. You make money. That's why they're called money games, because you're going on the road and you're being paid to be there.
That's a great point too, Zoe. I didn't even think about the actual in conference away games where it's just an expense.
Yeah, and so that's why a game that we really wouldn't make any money on, you turn around and you make that a profit. That's why some people say, well, why are we playing them in the Classic? Because I'd rather be in the black than be in the red just for a conference game. Because you don't make any money on the conference game on the road.
No, you don't. It's just an expense. You get there because that's what you're supposed to be anyway. So he said, can you explain the payout? No, I mean, the payout is the agreement. I mean, they pay when you get the check. I don't really know. I don't know how that works. I'm not into that's something
it varies. It's practiced depending on how the schools do. Typically, a lot of times you'll get the money the day before the game. Sometimes you get the money prior to the game starting. Rarely have you have an instance where somebody will actually get a check at the end of a game. Most time it's done the morning of the game or before the game or the day before. So no, we're not signed up for that game next year in Mobile. This is the last year. When we signed that agreement, it was a 3-year deal. It was to play in Mobile. Then the following year, which is this year, we will go to Huntsville and then back to Mobile. Well, after last season, we knew that we were getting out of the deal. So that's why we're canceling it. We're voiding the contract. So that's why we're going back to Mobile this year, because we were guaranteed 2 games in Mobile. So we're just fulfilling our obligation just a year earlier.
Absolutely.
Y'all be on it.
But it just makes sense monetarily when you factor in that specific game. That specific game makes sense. If you want to, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to try to argue the Southern game. You know what I mean? Because I fully understand having another home game, but you have to look at what we actually net for a home game. Like, what is the take home for a home game? At what point does ticket sales meet the threshold of expenses where it becomes a profitable game for us? And that's that. I'm pretty sure we eclipse that. But do we make what we would make? And so you go to the data. If you know for a fact that Alabama A&M is a game where we can get a guaranteed payout, all we got to do is go 3 hours. Yeah, look at that. And you look at, so this is what you look at. I know the fans say, man, we can play that game at home, but okay, if we walk away from playing at home 1 year and we get this guaranteed money, that's $200K more than what we would make on playing them at home. You got to consider that. You got to consider that.
And to answer that question there is no game where proceeds go to football only. So HBCU.
No,
every general fund. So when football is the marketer, but football is the thing that brings the bread for everything. Exactly. So we don't play the game and get money and then that money go back to the football team. It does not operate. We can't even operate in that space.
I think so. Some wouldn't know when you explained that our football team actually, but you said the entire sports thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. So I think it was because further asked that. I think that when you said that was an eye opener.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's one of the things that Coach Prime wanted. You know, he wanted the money that was coming in, and we're gonna have a P. Diddy Friday on Friday because we're getting that 332 on Friday. 333. Getting that first check on Friday. You know, I like that. free money. I like folk to keep their commitments. But I want to go back to this comment real quick. I want to go back to this, and then we'll touch on how many classes we're locked in contractually. So, three classics. So you got the MEAC SWAC Challenge, which is that's not a every year thing. That's a when it falls on you type thing, or when they elect to have you back. Jackson State is a draw.
Yep.
You know, we was 4-8, and we still had 30,000+, and we was playing that clip. We came to Atlanta. We were deep. Football team wasn't very good, but it was what it was. But now we go back. You got this classic, you got the Orange Blossom Classic, and then you got the Gulf Coast Challenge, and then you got Texas State. So that's 4 money games that we're getting paid, you know, where the expenses are covered for these first 2 games, of course, expenses in hotel and lodging and stuff like that, and then you factor in. So when you look at the business side of it,
yes,
it's actually a really good schedule for us, because I don't know what the agreement is with the Southern game. Are we gonna pocket? Or is Southern gonna pocket everything for that game? If they agreed, okay, cool. Y'all take that year. Y'all take all the proceeds. We'll get it next year, because we're gonna make more money off Southern than Southern would make off Jackson State. I think. But all things aren't the same, because Mumford's on their campus. They don't have travel expenses. They don't have hotel and lodging like we have to deal with, you know, or what we choose to do. Because a lot of people don't even realize, like, for home games, we're still putting our players in hotel.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while.
That's an expense anyway, because even if we have a stadium on campus, they still would do that.
That's what I'm saying. So
that.
there's just certain things we're gonna do anyway. You know what I mean? I love that, because we're gonna get you guys away from everything. We're gonna go isolate and get mentally prepared for the game.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I like it. You know.
I don't think a lot of us knew that. So this is good. Y'all educating us tonight. So keep continuing.
So you want to touch that last? What was the other? Where did comment go? How many countries? I mean, are we?
So what now?
30K fans is not 900K gross. The expense cannot be more than 400K. Expensive playing that game at home.
Nah, the math, it don't break down just that simple.
No, it's not. It's more. You got to look at. Yeah, it's
security guards.
Well, I mean, you got to look at what we just said: hotel accommodation. You got to look at travel expenses to the transit. You got to look at what we, you know, just whatever costs. I'm not
saying it's not cheap at all. It's not.
What's about 200K, 250K, maybe?
I wouldn't go that high, but I would range it, Ken. I would range a home game anywhere from 150 to about 225.
And then you have to factor in the fact that some of that 30,000 is tickets, is season ticket sales. So that's money, that's revenue that's already been accounted for. I'm not saying that. You got to look at it like some of those games ain't 30,000 though. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Show me the game where Alabama A&M was a 30,000 seat people in the stadium. Because some of them was in the 20s. It's just that we had other games. Keep in mind, we haven't played Alabama. We didn't play Alabama State or Alabama A&M under prime, except for in the spring. So the Alabama A&M that we're using the data for is the Alabama A&M for when we played them under Hendrick or Hughes
or Cummings.
So it wasn't, you know, who knows? Maybe it's a little different for them. I don't know. I just I don't know. I just we're already locked in on that. It's over with this season anyway. So a lot of this stuff falls off. So 2023 is really a wash year where you washing out a lot of contractual agreements. Now, This is 2024 though, is where the getting out of the Tennessee State game is gonna. Now you're gonna see the benefits of that, because you're gonna see why 2023 schedule made sense in 2024. You're gonna see why, because you're gonna have Southern at home, and you're gonna have FAMU at home, and you're gonna be able to have 2 slots to bring in a non-conference game at home, because there is no SWAC MEAC Challenge, there is no OBC, there is no Southern Heritage Classic. We ain't in no classic next season, and the only game we got on the road is ULM that we know of. That's an FBS. We're going back to Monroe. We're going to all the schools that. So I can name them right now. We got Valley at home next year. We're gonna have FAMU at home next year. We got Southern at home next year. We're gonna have Arkansas Pine Bluff at home next year.
Alabama A&M.
Alabama A&M at home next year. That's 5. You add in a non-conference game. You add in a non-conference game. That's 6. You go to ULM. That's 7. You go to Alcorn. That's 8. You go to Bethune-Cookman. That's 9. You go to Alabama State. That's 10.
Go to Alcorn.
I put Alcorn in there. I'm missing somebody else.
You don't know who the other opponent is, whether it's Texas Southern or Prairie View, what we at.
Yeah, we go. No, we go. We'll go to them. So more than likely, we go to Texas Southern. So let's just say Texas Southern stay on there. That's 11. We up to 5. Guess what? You get a 12th game. That 12th game is going to be another home game. That's how you get 6 home games. Now, here's what you need to make sure that happens. We just make sure you do what, Zoe? Get your damn tickets, because that's what that means. That means the season tickets are going to be higher next year because it's going to include more games. So everybody that's griping about home games, I love the gripes. I'm right there with you. But we better not be being selective and saying I'm only going to go to 3 of them, because that's how you get into the data where we go take classics, because people be like, I ain't going to all the home game. I'm going to just go to these 3, because that game, I don't really want to see Alabama and them.
Yep.
You're proving the point. Well, why? Well, let's just go play them in the classic and get paid guaranteed money.
Yep. You complain about the 4 games and we get more games and you don't come.
Exactly.
A whole lot of sense.
Y'all keep them donations going, man.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy?
Y'all keep them donations going. We need them donations, man. Keep them
Here's
donations. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. If we can, I guarantee you, if Jack State was doing 20, 25,000 season tickets sold, and yet you still was getting over 50,000 in the event every year, I guarantee you eliminate the idea of even having a player money game.
Facts.
And then also by doing that, you eliminate the basketball team being on the road from dang on end of October to January.
I agree. Go ahead.
That y'all breaking it down. Go on, Zoe. I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying I'm telling you now, it's gonna be a different gripe next year. Next year, all that you're gonna hear about. They don't went up on the ticket prices. Oh, I did want to address this though. You say you don't see how traveling to Texas State for 375 is better than playing for Memphis. Well, the first thing is the date. The date that the game is available when they take it. That's the first thing. And then also, Texas State is in the Sun Belt. Memphis is in the AAC. So, you know what I'm saying? So, Memphis, may not actually have the ability to pay as much as Texas State can. So it's all kind of variables into that. I'm not saying what Memphis can and can't do for anybody coming in here. Just saying that date, because you don't look at it like that. Memphis may be paying another FBS school for a home and home, and they could be overpaying them.
No.
At the end of the day, everybody has a budget, so you can't count it like.
Talking about the Southern Heritage Classic in Memphis.
Oh.
No, you can't compare those two.
Oh, you can't compare those two nowhere.
Because you have to compare. You have to use another game. You can only compare the Southern Heritage Classic to a home game. Because keep in mind, we played the Southern Heritage Classic and also went to ULM. It was the same payout. So you're not erasing the Southern Heritage Classic. You're erasing the Southern Heritage Classic to play at home. Us getting out of that game.
Hold on. Let me take this step further. There's no point in even talking about 354. Let me tell you why you don't even accept 350 in Memphis. First off, we're not going to do a 50-50 split with no school that's in a neutral site classic and we drawing the game 80-20. So why on God's green earth are we doing a 50-50 split when Tennessee State is making more money by playing in that classic than what Jack State is? And what I mean by that is that's one of the biggest money makers of the season, not for Jackson State. So why in the world would we go to Memphis to split 50-50 and Tennessee State bring like 15,000 fans to that game and we do anywhere from 35 to 40 or 45 in some instances? So if you look at the numbers and the data, they're benefiting from playing in the game more so than we are. So that's one reason why you don't sit there and say you don't take 350. If Jackson State and Tennessee State stay in the classic, if you're going to split a payout, let's just say $700,000, right? 350. Well, if it's $700,000, I'm going to be real with you. Jackson State should be getting 500,000. Tennessee State should be getting 200,000. Catch my drift?
I'm catching it.
Listen, y'all on the coin, so go ahead and do what it do. Let me see how many people we got in here. We have 516. Hey everybody, and welcome to Ken Clark and Friends live on Juneteenth. We are glad y'all in the building with us today, but we also want y'all to come out of the chat, live chat, and like and subscribe to this beautiful channel, because this is what we do. We educate, we have fun, and we right now, for those, this may be your first time on, so I don't want to take anything for granted. We are in the process of having a 50,000 fundraiser for our school, and we are almost there. So if you want to see what's scrolling at the bottom, that's why that's there, because that's the ways that you can give to this beautiful fundraiser that we are doing. We are almost there, and Lord's willing, we may be there tonight or almost close to it. So for those who are just coming in, please consider donating to the purpose of we're doing better things for our school. So thank you so much. And back to you, Zoe and Ken.
Mm-hmm. Keep it coming. I'm just counting up.
You said,
I know.
Yeah, and typically in a neutral site game, you would get where it's 50-50. But bear in mind, when you look at the data, because you have to understand, we come into an agreement with somebody else, a merger, right? So again, you may say, well, you're counting somebody else's money. No, we're counting the parameters of the pie. And so how many games have you gone to? Every last one that you go to, who filling the stadium up? It's JSU. The data is there. So you sit there and say, well, hey, Jackson State is carrying that game. And you're going to find out this year when they play whoever they playing. So you said Jackson State is carrying that game. So why are we doing the 50-50 split when we're the one carrying the game? Because bear in mind, Tennessee State is not even averaging 10,000 fans a home game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
2,000 fans a game. They're not even averaging 10,000 fans a game. And we're going to do a 50-50 split?
No, sir.
Okay, so make that make sense.
That when you break it down that way, it doesn't. And then we're not going to talk about when the band and stuff go. That's more money on our end, right, Zoe?
I mean, it's more expensive for both parties. Because see, Nashville is 3 hours from Memphis. Jackson is 2.5 hours from Memphis. But again, Jackson State has always carried that game from the first Southern Heritage Classic, and it's been that way from the go. So again, how do we have a 50-50 split? You know who Jackson State can get a 50-50 split with at a neutral site game? Southern.
Got it. I see what you. Can I ask you this? What is the average people that come?
If that game in Birmingham went down, Jackson State gonna do their part. Southern gonna do their part. That's the difference.
So Zoe, with Memphis, you said they averaged Tennessee. They averaged 10,000. How many people?
No. They didn't even average 10,000.
Oh, they didn't. So the match is how many people does the stand hold?
The Memphis or Tennessee State?
The game that you said about the lowest, but we're carrying that. So if they have less than 10,000,
the classic, the Liberty Ball holds about, I want to say like 63,000, something like that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is we're averaging. what I'm saying, the average is we average. See, every time you play in a classic, you're pretty much giving a home game away. Okay.
Got it.
So we're saying we're going to bypass playing a home game. So we're averaging 42,000 fans a game. So
Got
it's
it.
all I'm saying, if I'm making at my house, if I'm making, let's just say, if I'm making $750,000 at my house after expenses, why in the world am I going to do a 50-50 split for 350 when you only averaging 8,000 fans a home game?
That makes sense. So that makes some so for me to get an understanding, even though it's in that
Hold on,
state,
just
that,
first shit. Let me cut you off. Look at the screen. So now
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So
no,
that's
we cannot do a 50-50 split.
so that's why I'm sorry, well, 58,000. So that's why it was advantageous for them to stay in the classic, because that's probably their biggest payday for the
Got
whole
it.
of the season, not JSU.
So the classic is not that school's either. It's just y'all two, somebody promoting it. And okay, I see what you're saying. No, if they only averaging 4,000. That's I got you. That's yeah. A lot of us don't think that way. So thank you for especially when you break it down that way, because we really have no. I didn't have any knowledge of what they bring, but we bring in that many. That can't be a 50-50 spread. That would be 80-20. So you got it right on that. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my point. They average 4,000 fans a home game. Even if watch this, even if you were to hot side the ticket and say they pay everybody at Tennessee State pay $40 for a ticket, they average 4,000 fans a game. Do the math.
Yeah, that's why B85 said that's why I see why they mad. That was their, you know what? Just like that was one of their biggest games for their budget. So
It's the biggest game. It's their biggest payday on the year.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's they included that money in their budget. There's no way that they didn't. Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I would be the promoters one who's get. Yep, I agree with that too. But that's interesting for you to say that. That was something that they know they made money on playing us. Like everybody was paying us. So okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I didn't see nobody tell me where y'all called from. And what did y'all do on this beautiful Juneteenth? And did y'all educate y'all children so they can know really why Juneteenth is so important? Because July 4th is not really important for me because we were slaves. So it wasn't nothing to celebrate. But Juneteenth, I can celebrate that. That's just me.
Man,
I
look,
take no holiday, but I'm not what was there to celebrate.
man, look. If anybody come on here on Avery Internet talking about Tennessee State be packing the classic out, man, you are lying. Stop that cap. Jackson State is carried. It ain't even close. If I'll do 100% grab, I'm telling you, it's 70-30 JSU to Tennessee State.
Reggie, that's a good one. He was like negotiating the contract because that's, you know what? That's very true. When you look at it that way, classes became popular with
I'm talking about what they do with the classic, because I saw where somebody said the Tennessee State actually draw good the classic. No, they do not. Jackson State been carrying the game. It is, man, it's crazy. But yeah, they don't do good at home. They don't.
Mm.
So yeah, and Ken can tell you, I've been wanting JSU to get out their classic, man, for over a decade.
Me too. Me by yourself. We talked about this on numerous occasions. Trust me. And for those
Is
that
that
know,
why they said they wanted to sue?
I'm
Is that why they
happy.
wanted to sue Dion for that? Ken and Zoe?
Say that again.
Remember when he wanted to get out of the contract and everybody was saying so negative about it? And
Well, Deion Sanders was only speaking on information that he was getting, because needless to say, Jackson State wanted to get out the classic and for obvious reasons. Deion Sanders got privilege to information, and he was just a mouthpiece. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like it was his decision and we moved with it. No.
Okay. I just remember like people, that's wrong. Jackson State is wrong. I was just when they were talking about it, and I was, because I didn't understand it, but now since you stated it, I definitely see why that was not beneficial for us. Because even for our own fans, that's a lot of money to spend, and that's a lot that we going down, but we go support them classics. So okay, I got you. Those tickets aren't.
Yeah, I don't think the Southern Heritage Classic. I don't even think that it gets 30,000 fans this year. I don't.
Wow. So Jackson State, we just that's why everybody love us because the fans is definitely gonna come, and I think this year is gonna be even better.
But that's why the other school they made Jack State the homecoming game.
Okay, the sellout.
Yep.
See y'all, did y'all see this? So can I just say something? Because you know my brain is that we even check this out, and y'all may not want to admit this to folks that's in the chat that's our JSU alums, our fans of JSU. And that's what we be talking about. We don't even understand our value as a school. Like how much other people rely on us to make their money because they understand. Check this out. They understand our value, or we, more than we understand our own.
Hold on,
They
Rochelle. Let me tell you, your statement, you're contradicting yourself. I'm not,
what?
I'm not speaking with JSU glasses on. If we carry a classic for years, how can you compare something that we've done for 2 decades to something when you say a bowl game when that's one game with two different teams every year? So watch this.
I'm trying to
So
understand. Go back now. Go ahead.
a single bowl game. Let's just say the end of the year, the Cotton Bowl, Ken. The Cotton Bowl at the end of the year, it's a bowl game, and it's a 50-50 split. Actually, it's not even a 50-50 split because you got sponsors for that game that's paying out a payout to two schools. That's not the same thing. That's not a money game. It's not a classic. That's a bowl game. It's two totally different entities. This is a yearly classic that we're in where we're bypassing our home game, not an end of the season bowl game that you got corporate sponsors paying for. Two totally different things, and you can't have a comparison. So again, if you won't have a, you shouldn't have a, you should not have a 50-50 split in a game that you've been playing in since 1991, and
That's
you
bad business.
and your fans are the one carrying the game, and you're splitting a profit equal share for somebody who's typically getting about 6,000. So what exactly are they sacrificing? So you feel that we should take a pay cut to continue to play in something just because you like it?
But hold on, but DJ, that's not true. We're not saying they had 10 fans. They just gave you the facts of how many fans they average a game. And that number is the number. And if the number is 4,000, the number is 4,000. We didn't
No,
make that number.
the number to the Southern Heritage Classic is not 4,000. That's the average of what they do.
I know, but what I know that, but we right. So
They
what
bring a lot of fans to. They brought a lot of fans to the Southern Heritage game, but this is simple. Like this ain't even like complex. Zoe's point was we carry the game because if you look at the 40+ thousand, we were averaging about 48,000 in attendance in that game. 48, sometimes we'll get to 50, just depending on. And what he's saying is of that 40, 50,000, Jackson State made up 30+. So we made up.
Okay, I never said that Tennessee State brought 4,000 to Memphis.
I just clarified that. That was the shit. I just clarified that. No, it's all right because the comments are delayed. We are fully aware of what's going on. I don't understand how the Southern Heritage Classic is even a conversation. Like, what are we talking about? Like, why is this even a topic? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand. I was just counting the money up, and we done went Southern Heritage crazy. Listen, Southern Heritage Classic, getting out of the Southern Heritage Classic was more about getting a home game than it was and getting out of a bad contract. We were not in a contract. Now, we would play. I believe we would go back to the Southern Heritage Classic if the numbers was right. And the numbers are going, what does that mean? Numbers being right, meaning we get more close to the value of what we could get because of their draw.
Hold on, Ken. That's not true. Every game is not a 50-50 split. That's not true. And you can't compare Tennessee State to the Alabama A&M game because Alabama A&M is a conference game. So instead of me having a game where I'm in the red, I choose to play a game where I'm going to make a profit. That's something totally different than the classic that I've been playing in since 1991.
This point right here is why you get out of that game. Because it's not an equal equivalent. And even the other game that we're talking about is more than what we were getting. So we've already exceeded money, and we exceeded money in a game that we were going to play anyway. And what we were saying was that merely when you look at the numbers over a 2-year span, you take what you make off of Alabama A&M, and you take what you was not going to make when you went to Huntsville. You factor in, that's a total of $900K minus expenses or whatever the case may be. The athletic director is looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, if I play them at home and net $600K, I got to go on the road to go to Huntsville next year. So whatever that expense is going to be subtracted from the $600K that I netted. Let's just say it's $125. I don't know. So now you're down to $475. So you gain $475,000 for 2 years. You look at 475 and you look at 900K minus expenses. Let's say that minus expenses, you're sitting at 675. So you're looking at a 675 versus a 475. It was something like that that would make them say, okay, you know what? We make this decision. We're going to net 200K over a 2-year span. That's how you make those decisions. It may not make sense to the fans. It may not necessarily be what it's going to be, but I just think that's how it is. Now, we never made money off of Tennessee State. Like, we weren't making money. We was operating in a negative, or we was almost going flat or breaking even. You know what I'm saying? So again, we sucked, and when you suck, you can't really get out of contracts when you're not doing well. You kind of take what you get. You keep. We didn't have the leverage to go to our base and be like, look, we're getting out of this game, because we weren't very profitable. So like Zoe said, you use Deion Sanders, who's a mouthpiece, who can get things done, and you get out of it and you roll with it, right? But we done with this Tennessee State conversation. It's a 50-50 game. And we played in it for 30 years, and we never really made money off of it. It was more of a fans game, people that love to go to Memphis. That ain't got nothing to do with business, though. So inflation has occurred, and the cost of business has gone up, and our money didn't go up. So guess what that means? That means that we can get out of that game, because if you guys are so schedule specific, you would know that game was it was no matter what, it sat right in the middle of the schedule. And we had to always adjust our schedule around the Southern Heritage Classic. And you don't make those types of adjustments in business for a game that you're not profiting out of. I don't give a damn what the payouts are. I'm saying in the sense of like 50-50. So to Zoe's points, you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Hey, well, it's
with the Southern Heritage Classic shit, man.
You're not going to Memphis, so it's a moot point anyway.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. Like, even if you feel like the business decision went, you already started off saying that how you already compared the Southern Heritage Classic with a FBS payout. It's not the same thing. You're not getting out of the Southern Heritage Classic to go and play a bowl game. So if that's the case, I guarantee you one thing: you're gonna net a whole lot less money than was over there. So whatever decision that they made,
it's not a 50-50 split too.
It's not. But again, I hated that game. I hated it for various reasons. I really did. I didn't like that game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad we got out of it. Don't care if we never go back to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to agree. I'm not going to do that. I got a way of disagreeing that can make it go away a whole lot easier. You introduced it, and then you want to say it's not deep. So do you want to talk about it or not talk about it? Or I can just ignore it and just not talk about it no more. It's a moot point. We're not going to Memphis. Whatever you feel it is, you're right. I'll be wrong. You're right. And it don't matter. That's the whole point. You're right. So I'm going to just agree with you and just leave it at that. You're right. It's not. It really ain't that deep. I don't, because I came in on the back end. I'm just asking the question, how y'all going down this rabbit hole about is. Please stop spamming the chat, bro. Like, it's not. You're right. It's not that deep. Let's move on, and I'm gonna move on from it, and let's move on from that, because I'm like, how in the hell did we get on? I'm trying to count the money. I'm trying to let everybody know what the goal is, and Zoe, y'all just going on and on and on about. I'm like, Southern Heritage Classic. What are we talking about? Whatever. But you can't make points and then be like, oh, it ain't that deep. Well, you made it. You made your point. So we respond to your points. And we're talking to text. Like, you can, like, here's the point. This is a better point. Come your ass on the stream, and you can talk. You can have the whole floor to make the point, and then it be the dialogue will be a little better.
See, that's why we don't come on, but we won't come on this live though. But we a chat delay in a minute.
Back to what we're talking about, charter flight. Make sure you guys go to JSU, Blue Bingo Association at JSUMS.edu for more information. Call 979-3134 to see if you want to book that flight. If you ain't already booked your flights, man, we about 2 months out from the game. Now's the time to go ahead and start making sure you take care of all your travels. Matter of fact, you know, that's the most important thing right now. Make sure you get that out of the way, and figure out whatever you're gonna do. I think that's about it on that. And then last but not least, you got the whatchamacallit game, first game as far as travel. So if you guys need this information, you can always come back to it and make the point. You know, you can always come back to it and screenshot it, save it, and then you have that information. So shout out to, I think Anitra Bender is also, she was in our alumni chat, not chat, in one of the groups on social media, basically taking the lead on some of this information. So if you're on Facebook, it's definitely available to you. It's definitely out there. So yeah, stream is open, y'all. Come on
Divine,
up.
Divine, you said you had a question because I'm missing it. Did you want to come up, or were you just
I don't know why y'all don't come up. Y'all be chatting. I be texting.
I know y'all come on because it's delayed.
That way we ain't got
delay.
It's delayed with the comments. We be trying to tell them that.
It is a delay for sure. So come on up. Divine Inspiration. Come on up, Divine Inspiration. Or did you want to type in your question? So
we up to also we with 9, we're still 9K out. We up to 41K.
Okay. Whew, okay.
Yeah, we cooking, man.
I'm so proud of y'all.
No, we not sending bro to the gulags, man. We just move on.
He said it home before.
We ain't gonna do that. You know, we send idiots to the gulags. We don't send differences.
Miami, bro.
Yeah, no, hell no. We don't do that.
Ken, where do I get my ticket for the game?
Which game?
The first game.
You gotta get on the plane. You gotta worry about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta go get in the gym even harder. When is that game? August what?
26. The nighttime game.
Okay. I got it. Okay, so I got 2 months. Okay.
Yeah, we got time, man. We'll get you there. We'll get tickets. Don't worry about that. We'll make sure you got tickets, and we'll put you with some of the. My sister Benita. We're gonna pair you up with Benita.
My soror, come on, soror.
We'll get y'all security, boy. Make sure y'all get escorted. I'll message friend. Have a school talk to American Airlines about our travel to get the game. I don't know. I'll find out soon. That's a good question, Franklin. I'm not sure. I'll find out. I'll find out when I go home.
Listen, I'm excited. Listen, we
did.
Yeah, man. I want to get Miss Mac over there. No, you don't.
Come on, man. We need that last 9 there. Come on.
You know what? Hold on for me. I just thought about something. The reason that one is distorted. But y'all, I'm excited. We finna do this. I don't care what nobody say. I want to know what I just okay. Man,
we on the home stretch. I'm pumped up, man. We in the home stretch now. Y'all know the deadline is 6/21. That's the first day of summer now. That's on Wednesday. So, you know, if we can either do it now, we can do it then. Either or, we just need to hit that 50K. We need to hit that 50K and then we move on. 41,050. 41,050. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going to make you stand on the sideline. Me and Zoe be on the sideline. You know, we're going to be down there working. But,
wait till we get to 4,500. Like Mike L. 45.
We doing live show from the team hotel Friday Night Live. We're gonna be on the scene. We're gonna have Mrs. in that thing, signing autograph, taking pictures. Because as long as she there, everybody gonna flock to her. Be a nice distraction for us.
Hey, how much you want to be? She gonna here in Atlanta. Let me see that walk. Slow motion.
Hey,
Shut up.
Randy. Hey, Randy. I tried to get Randy to the first game too, man. Randy, hey, you gotta let me know, dog. Now we're gonna bring Randy to homecoming. Randy gonna be in homecoming, bro. We gotta get Randy Jackson. Yeah, man. To be revealed next month sometime. We can't reveal it until what it's used for is done. So just stand by. Once we hit it, we'll
But I can't say the end of next month. I said I'll go ahead and tell you it's gonna be the end of next month.
Yep, it's gonna be the end of next month. And I just want y'all to understand that there will be a detailed video explaining every single
very detailed video, by the way.
I just think that'll be better than having them come on, and they'll come on the stream. We may even have them come up and talk, nevertheless. But come on up, brother C. Lee. It is Juneteenth now. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Today's June 19th, man. I wish my birthday people would come on up so we can sing to them. A lot of June birthdays, man. A lot of June birthdays. Oh,
You know, when I first, for the longest time as a kid, can I just be honest? I did not like. I just knew Juneteenth was something where all Black people got together. But really, when I really sat there and I really thought about that, Miss Ken, like for 2 years after the fact, they purposely didn't let them know. I was like, that's crazy. So I think we should even have more pride to really understand why Juneteenth is so important to us as Black people. Like, teach it to your children, teach it to your grandchildren, so they'll understand. Well, why 4th of July is not like that? Because, and then you begin to show them and explain to them the history behind it. It makes such a difference, so they can get a true understanding on why we do what we do.
Brother C. Lee, what's happening?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
So what was that?
What's happening, OG?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing well, man. We doing well. We over here making progress, brother.
As we say, happy Juneteenth, and to everybody who celebrating however you want to celebrate. I always tell people that remember that Juneteenth. Somebody actually, I got interviewed a while back, and this guy asked me, why was Juneteenth a celebratory holiday, given that it was based on, when you were freed and all of that. I told him, I said, well, you have to understand that you asking that question as a white person who don't understand blues people, because at the core of the blues is Black people are always able to lament our struggle while celebrating our progress. And so Juneteenth at its core is we are, remembering our history, celebrating our progress, and making sure that we are doing what we need to do to finally make right what was not made right in the past. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. You know what? I saw some interesting stuff today. Folks talking about, we settle for anything. We say it's almost like the government give us a Juneteenth as a national holiday, and now we're satisfied. In actuality, I think that's very projecting. You're projecting. I don't understand why we can't have it all.
Right.
It doesn't have to be an either or.
That's right. But that's because, again, so a lot of us don't know our words. So we do think because of that. Yeah.
Well, and also, that's a great point. I think, and in fact, I got to lecture some young scholars who were traveling. One of the things I tell people is that what's important about the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Voting Rights Act of 65 is that was the first time that Black people were actually involved in defining our own freedom. And so you have to understand, I always tell people that what people have to understand, one of the problems is that because Black people have never participated in the legal definition of our freedom will always be lacking. So as was discussed earlier by some folks, the Emancipation Proclamation was a military document. It was not a freedom document. Lincoln developed the Emancipation Proclamation because the South was winning the war. I think most people don't understand that the South was basically 2 battles away from winning the Civil War. And so the Emancipation Proclamation was designed because you need money to win a war. So the South had an abundance of money because it had all that free labor from slavery. So the Emancipation Proclamation.
Wow. Say that again.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, so you need money to win a war. So the South was winning the war because it had all that free money from labor. And
I gotta say this, and the wealthiest place in all of the South during the Civil War was none other than Natchez, Mississippi. The land that had the most, they had more millionaires in Natchez, Mississippi than you had in New York City.
Well, Natchez was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, top 2 biggest slave trade ports.
Yep.
Yeah, Natchez. And here's the other deal, Sister Michelle.
I got to touch on that.
Natchez was the first New Orleans. Everything that is New Orleans, when I say everything that is New Orleans, from mixed race ancestry to food to music to culture, all of that was Natchez. You do some research on what's called Natchez under the Hill. You think about Natchez under the Hill, Natchez was New Orleans. In fact, what I like to tell my folks from New Orleans is, yes, jazz, what you call jazz, was created in New Orleans, but it was created in New Orleans by Mississippi musicians who went to New Orleans after Reconstruction looking for work. So Natchez, so Zoe's exactly right. Like Natchez was at one point, it was the New York City of the South.
Yep.
So the North, I mean, I want to make this really clear. The North was getting that onion thump. They was getting that cap peel. and I mean, that's you know, I mean, so
hold on, silly. The North was getting their caps peeled, they getting their wigs split, and the tide turned for the South to lose again in the great state of Mississippi, because the battle that changed everything in the Civil War was none other than the Battle of Vicksburg.
Battle of Vicksburg. I knew you was going there.
Yeah,
this is Mississippi studies, baby.
Yeah. Wow. But again, that tide doesn't get turned until the Emancipation Proclamation. What the Emancipation Proclamation was designed to do was to get slaves in the South to run to the North. Now, here's a couple of problems with that. Slavery was not outlawed in the North. So that's why you can't say the Emancipation. In fact, Lincoln said, these are Lincoln's words. Lincoln said that if I can save the Union and keep slavery, so be it. If I can save the Union and end slavery, so be it. Lincoln was concerned about the Union. Slavery was a byproduct of how do I negotiate keeping the Union.
Wow.
And so now, then you add to that, so the Emancipation Proclamation was never designed to end slavery. Then the next part people need to understand is, please stop talking about the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Those damn amendments ain't worth the paper they own. And the reason that you know the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments ain't worth the paper they own is because you have more amendments. If the 13th Amendment was any good, you wouldn't have needed the 14th Amendment. If the 14th Amendment was any good, you wouldn't have needed the 15th Amendment. Now, let me just do this quickly. The 13th Amendment, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just said preach.
So the 13th Amendment, all right, so here's what happened. They passed the 13th Amendment to end slavery. Rochelle, black people got all happy and said, hey, we can go vote. White people, wait. We ain't say nothing about no damn voting. We just said y'all wasn't slaves. So then black people said, well, how do we get the vote? Does he got to be citizens? So then the 14th Amendment made us citizens, and black people got happy and said, yay, let's go vote. I said, wait, damn it, black people. Well, you know, just because y'all citizens don't mean y'all can vote. And then the 15th Amendment, right, then said you can vote. But the problem with the 15th Amendment is it didn't have any protections around voting. So the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act were not only the first time that Black people actually participated in defining our own freedom. It is they exist because the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment are not any damn good. And yes, Lerone Bennett, Clarksdale, Mississippi's own Lerone Bennett, another writer out of Clarksdale. So yes, read anything you can about Lerone Bennett. That brother was a super genius. So yeah. So now the problem is they gutted the 1965 Voting Rights Act. So
wait, hold on for 1 second, C. Lee. Do y'all understand that it's less than 57 years old?
Yep.
I mean, I want y'all to listen to that. We got free in 1865. We only started voting in I'm 57. And it said, what was it, the 1964?
1964 voting free Civil Rights Act.
8 years old. And this is why I hear so many of I now understand why the elders are going, but we don't vote. Like we don't vote.
And people literally got killed and murdered because we come vote.
Hey.
Y'all,
Clarksdale, Mississippi, stand up.
That's right. Home of the blues, baby, Clarksdale, Mississippi. Tell them, Dr. Money Smith, Clarksdale is up in here. Now, Sister Rochelle, to your point, and people are gonna look at me crazy when I say this. Here's what people need to understand. Black people have only been free for 60 years.
Yes. Correct.
Because if you understand that you were living in the legal apartheid prior to 1964.
Correct.
So prior to 1964, Black people were not free because we did not have all of the full rights of citizenship. That's right, Mr. Nolan Clark Vegas. Say it loud.
So I'll say this. I was talking to I know we opened the show up, honoring my brother's grandfather, Brother Wiltshire, right? And I asked him how old he was, 86 years old. Now my grandmother, check this out now. And I don't mind, it is what it is. It's not even it is what it is, just to make the point. I lived with my grandmother for years, mom, just back on and off. But listen to this. My grandmother, basically her life was exemplified through the movie The Help.
Yep.
So when you talk about it's not very far, I call her my baby, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother in her 90s now. My grandmother never learned to read or write. So I was her informant I opened the mail. I read all the mail to my grandmother that I'm living with. And we're talking in the 90s, baby. You know what I'm saying? And she working for the rich white lady and she's raising this young man that's practically a year or a few years younger than me, maybe a year or two. And it was very difficult in Mississippi, growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, watching my grandmother go to these people's home that I didn't understand and cleaning up their home and basically raising the child and watching this white boy call my grandmother Clara.
Oh, by her first name.
That used to eat my soul up. I wanted to break his jaw so many times, but I understood you couldn't. And I saw that, and I didn't understand it being a young man. And I hope my family don't mind me saying this, but we're being transparent because people don't get it. People think that, you know what I'm saying? Everything is like, no, that's really like that. And my grandmother still is to this day. We just celebrated her this year, you know what I'm saying? Big birthday celebration. So I'm just saying, like, to your point of it's not very far away. You're talking about my mother's turned 70 this year.
And Brother Ken, before Brother Trent goes, always great to see Brother Trent. To make their point even clearly for those of you who are not from the Delta, I want everybody to look at these hands. Y'all see these hands right here? These hands have not only published poetry, have not only published short stories, these hands have actually chopped cotton. Now, I never picked cotton, but I need y'all to understand that if you lived in the Delta in the 80s, one of the few summer jobs was chopping cotton. Now, I only did it once. I only did it for part of a summer, so I wasn't somebody who went chop cotton every summer. But when you talk about how things are, these hands right here have chopped cotton because wasn't that many summer jobs. And if you wanted some money for some school clothes in the fall, that plantation labor was still there. So and for people who don't know, plantations still exist. I want to say that again. Plantations still exist. And they still are some of the worst working conditions that you've ever seen. I'll stop there.
Brother Trent.
Good evening.
Take it away. What's going on, brother?
How y'all doing? Y'all, I promised to God I was going to let C. Lee have the floor to himself today.
No, it's all good, man. Come on with it. It's Juneteenth.
However, wanted to make a couple of points because somebody made, first of all, Ken, you just a second ago made reference to a young person calling your grandmother by her first name.
I saw it regularly.
And yeah, I
had
get
to
how
learn
that
to
can
understand, like the cautiousness of when I'm over there, grandma, like making sure I don't do the wrong thing or tell her, I'm like, grandma, I'm not, you know what I mean? It was like looking back on it, it's tough to look back on it, but at the time I'm a young man and it is what it is,
It is, and then what you also have to realize, because what I've discovered as an attorney, I had people that I grew up with. My father coached a softball team because baseball was going out of vogue by the time I was a young man, and you had people who were playing softball on that team who I looked up to because I was either a pre-teenager or I was a teenager, people that I looked up to. And now I've come back, going to law school, become an attorney. And when they see me, they say, Mr. Walker. And I'm like, dude, who is Mr. Walker? Mr. Walker was my daddy's name.
Yeah.
But these, are people who are older than me.
Right.
And they have put themselves in a subservient position that I never asked them to put themselves in. And a lot of that you've got to realize has just been baked in. And I try to correct it every time, but I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes it just gets tiresome correcting it. So that was the first point I wanted to make. And the second point I wanted to make, because I see Rochelle wants to say something, but I want to make this point too. Because somebody, Zoe, it was a second ago, talked about people having died for the right to vote. I read something very interesting in the Mississippi Free Press. Donna Ladd, Donna Ladd, who is the editor of the Mississippi Free Press, reprinted something that she printed 2 years ago. And she made reference to a study that had been done. And they talked about Noxubee County and how 100 years ago in 1919, 104 years ago, that the Klan, led by, because usually the White Citizens Council would be the prominent citizens, and then the working class would be in the Klan. But in this particular case in 1919, and leading up to 1919 also in Noxubee County, Mississippi, which is Macon, it's over kind of in between Starkville and Meridian for those that just don't know. And for those that do know, it's the home of Darian Connor, who is an all-time Jackson State great.
Right.
In any event, said all that to say that in Noxubee County in 1919, they literally murdered people. They burned down the only black school, which was a one-room school, burned it down, chased the principal out of town, murdered other people. There have been no less than 10 lynchings in Noxubee County. So said all that to say, but there was a study that said that in communities that had suffered racial violence, voting tended to be lower. So in other words, you can visit violence upon black communities because Noxubee County, even in that time, was majority black. But even, you could visit violence on minority communities, and 3 and 4 and 5 generations later, they would not be interested in civic participation because they have been punished for civic participation up to and including learning to read and learning to educate yourself.
Right.
And I want to say this one thing, Trent, what you said is that's why I think our young people, and this is where we've done a disservice. So the stuff that I'm praying y'all learned it today, y'all need to have conversation. Y'all even realize that before they had the vote, they made our people take all these crazy tests, and they would study the test, and then they would come back and make them do another test. But this is the thing, they kept coming back. They did not stop because our ancestors knew the power of the vote. And that's the thing, is that what y'all don't understand, and I just found this out, Ken, that I thought was amazing. This guy was talking about this on a show on MSNBC. The reason they are taking everything out of the education for about Black people and the DEI, it's because when they did a survey, the younger generation of white people are more sympathetic and believe that this stuff should be paid to Black people. So in order for them, so they're not taking this out of the system because they don't want them to know about us. They're taking out of the system because the younger generation of white people are challenging their grandmamas, them, talk to his brothers, and they saying this is wrong what y'all doing to them, and they deserve their payment. So what they doing is, check this out. Our kids ain't acting right. Our great-grandkids, white kids, they kind of like them, but they taking Black people's side, and we don't like that. So we finna shut it down altogether. So the fear is not that they think that their white children are gonna feel guilty. No, that's them. The fear that they have is these white kids are gonna really want to have empathy and agree with Black people, and that's a problem. So when we talk about the voting is your power, and that's what they want y'all. I hear Black kids all the time. What's supposed about voting? It don't work. That's what they want you to believe. And unfortunately, we're believing that. No, they died for you to vote. So you need to really explain to them, like we said, we had 60 years free. And when you look at that, that's very disrespectful, Ken. 60 years free?
Yep.
I'm 50, so my freedom is like 3 years. No, that's crazy. Y'all got to register to vote, and you got to keep voting. And let me tell you something, and don't vote in the presidential all the time. Your local is more important than anything else, because
vote for dog catcher.
That's stuff matters. So we gotta get on this, y'all. It's more important than we realize. The power is in. I told my son this, Trent. I said, yeah, the problem is that the younger generation, they want y'all to think y'all don't matter. Y'all could change the whole demographics of everything. Why? It's more young people than it is old people. And if the young people wanted to vote, they could change any and everything they wanted. So that's where they're trying to disenfranchise them, so they believe they're not worthy of it. Because if them youngers get together and really do what they're supposed to do, they can change everything. Okay.
And this abortion issue is starting to galvanize people. But what young people need to realize, and they get frustrated so easily, but the whole power to vote is the power to speak for yourself. You can go all the way back to the 3/5 compromise. We gave, when the Constitution was passed, they gave the South an unworthy amount of power, because they allowed them to account for 3/5 of the Black population, and then credit that 3/5 of the vote to the white slave owners. And so the white slave owners were never going to say, well, we need to at least make 60% of what we're doing in favor of our Black slaves. Right. No, what they did was you gave them extra power. And what they did was, and up to this day, they're using that extra power that you gave them in order to keep a conservative agenda at the forefront. Because if you look, you got states that have 2, we'll call it Republican senators, and they get more cows than people.
Right.
And so you have these people out there, they're in no danger of having to compete against the Democrat for votes. And they come in, you got Mississippi, which is almost 40% black population.
Yes, let's talk.
But our leadership acts like this state is 100% white.
Yeah. Agreed.
So quick,
And
King,
so, what you end up with when you end up with one party rule, you end up with a significant portion of the population that is never accounted for. And that is the way that it was before the Civil Rights Act.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing that the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, those are the things that it changed that gave us the ability to actually have a voice in the governing of our own communities. And 60 years later, they're doing their damnedest to take it away. The Voting Rights Act and reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act used to pass like 98-2. Strom Thurmond and maybe one other person would vote against it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he voted against it 100% of the time. But it would be almost unanimous. And now you've gotten to the point to where you cannot get a majority. You can't get a simple majority, and you can't get really 5 white folks to say we're going to vote to reauthorize the Voting Rights Act. We're going to vote to reauthorize Section 5 is what really cut our throat and allowed them to put all these new voting restrictions in place.
Yeah.
And all these people you call moderate Republicans, the big round world and so forth, they vote right along with it.
But you go, Ken. But I just connected a beautiful dot. But go ahead on, Ken.
No, I know C. Lee was gonna jump in on something.
Well, I was just gonna actually, I wanted Trent to finish and then Rochelle, but I want to respond to something. Can you find Reggie Bird's comment at the 11:41 mark? I want to respond to that because that's gonna connect what Trent is saying. He asked a question about Rebels and Bruce, so then I'll let Trent and then Sister Rochelle finish, but then I'll circle back to answer Brother Reggie Bird's question. Because that's a piece of history that will make what Clint is saying very, very clear.
So check out this dot, Trent, what you just said. This was amazing to me. It was like an aha moment. So basically they're doing, because think about it, there's nothing new under the sun, correct? But if you don't learn the lesson will keep coming back until you learn the lesson. You just said that they put in all of those, like the things they're doing right now with the ID and all of that to try to stop us from voting. That's what they did to our ancestors in making them take all them same tests. This is the difference. Back in the day, they did not stop. We stopped. Back in the day, whatever they needed to do, Ken, to take that test, whatever, when they came back with something else, our ancestors, we back. We back again. We back again. The difference is that they have the resiliency that we don't have anymore because we have now tapped into the victim side of us. They was tapping into they weren't really victims, but they tapped into the victor side of them, the resilience. So now, instead of fighting, we now complain they doing this and we don't try to fight it. Okay, you need to get an ID? Okay, well, we finna find some ways that we finna have a whole fundraiser and we finna get some IDs for everybody. Instead of whining and complaining, our forefathers, whatever they threw at us, we threw it right back and had to answer. Unfortunately, this generation, we complain and we whine versus let's go. Okay, I'm done.
And my mama used to say, God rest her soul, we buy what we want and beg for what we need.
Yeah.
And if you need an ID, you can Uber to the Department of Public Safety and get you an ID.
Hey, who's that crying?
That's actually my granddaughter.
Oh, okay. Hey, real quick before we get off, is this the question you were talking about, Celia?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. What we want to do with that?
So, Reggie Bird, and I know he was responding to something I said. So, Highland Rebels and Blanche Bruce, they were elected during Reconstruction. So that's how they were elected. So Reconstruction, for those who don't know, so at the end of the Civil War, people have heard the phrase 40 acres and a mule, right? That after slavery, black people were supposed to get 40 acres and a mule and all that. All of that was under what was named as Reconstruction. And Reconstruction means exactly what it says, that they were going to reconstruct the South. They were going to reframe the South. So what happened is that when the North won the war, federal troops were placed in the South, across the South, so that black people could vote. Because what the North knew is the South wasn't just going to let black people vote. So we needed actual physical protection. So Reconstruction came with physical military protection so that black people could keep their land, they could vote, and they could essentially just live without being terrorized. Reconstruction only lasted 12 years, but here's something about Reconstruction people need to understand. And then we'll get, because I want to get to Trent's point. There was no public education in America before Reconstruction.
Thank you.
That means that black people created and funded public education, because it was during Reconstruction that black people were able to be elected. And then those black people not only they did two things. Here's what's important. They put education on the books, and then they put a line item to fund it. See, the problem now is that what you'll hear legislatures do is they'll give you something that sounds good to you, but there'll be no line item to fund it. Black people had the foresight to not only say, we deem and we want public education, and here's how we're going to pay for it. The moment that happened, white people in the South was like, we need to get rid of this Reconstruction. So Rebels and Bruce and J.R. Lynch, that's why I hate when people just say Lynch Street. I know we joke about it and whatnot, but it's important that we say J.R. Lynch Street, because J.R. Lynch Street was one of those elected officials that came under Reconstruction.
That's
now,
right.
The reason Reconstruction ended was because of the Hayes-Tilden Compromise. And this is important because what the Hayes-Tilden Compromise proves is that ultimately white people don't care about your freedom. So what essentially happens is that Hayes and Tilden were running for president of the United States. It was a dead tie. Some of y'all may remember the Gore-Bush. Remember when Gore-Bush, and we had those 2 or 3 weeks of counting chads and hanging chads, and is this a vote? Is that a vote? And people were acting like that was the first time that happened. No, that happened with Hayes and Tilden. And so the South, and I have to give a pimp, sometimes you got to give a pimp props for being a good pimp, right? The South, when you say hate the player, not hate the game, not the player, what the South did was it agreed to let the North candidate be president if the North would agree to remove those federal troops. So what ended Reconstruction was in 1872, the South said, Hayes can be president. We will get it up if y'all will just remove, because what the South knew is that the moment they removed those troops, and I want to be clear what I'm about to say, it was the Redeemers before the Klan. The Klan is birthed out of the Redeemers. So first it was the Redeemers, and the Redeemers were a group called the Red Shirts. And so the Red Shirts, the Redeemers, and then the Klan, when they removed those federal troops in 1872 from the South, that gave birth to the Redeemers, the Red Shirts, and then the Klan. And then that's what Trent was saying, is that in 1872 is when physical terrorism began as a way to keep black people from voting. See, they couldn't legally, but because of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, they couldn't legally, but the 15th Amendment didn't have any protections. What the Voting Rights Act of 65 did was gave us protections against physical and legal harassment. But in 1872, there was no protections from physical harassment. You were not protected from lynching. You were not protected from dragging. In fact, as late as 1950, whites used to run for office, and they would say, "We all know the best way to keep black people from voting, right?" That was the wink, wink, nod, nod that you paid black people a visit at night to let them know don't come vote. So Reconstruction ended with the Hayes-Tilden Compromise. Why? Because white people cared more about their own particular power than they cared about protecting the citizenship of black people. And that is what ended Reconstruction. And that is why when you say you didn't have a black person elected until since, so then 1990, right, when we started with the new census of 1990, and we got the new redistricting, that is when we began getting more elected officials. And that's why you would say the first black person elected since Reconstruction. That's it.
That, you know what? Wow, I ain't never knew none of this. I know. See, that's why I done got educated today. I know this is not.
That's why it's good to have C. Lee here.
Listen, I know this is not in nobody's history books, especially that's Mississippi history right there.
But Trent is being humble. Trent is a wealth of information too. And what I tell people is, I like the way that Ken drop information. Ken, like a pastor, he gonna drop this in your spirit. And if you take it, you take it. You don't, you don't. He done God's work. I done dropped the information. It's on you to meditate and pray on it and take it.
I'm gonna also pass them plates around so we can get this donations rolling. And I got this fundraiser.
And this is
we need another $85 $100 donors.
Yep. So my thing is that we did y'all see that?
We need about 85. Actually, we need about 85 more folks. Give $100, we'll be done.
And see, this is a good thing we learned on Juneteenth. Y'all see, now y'all understand why it's so important to vote. Now y'all get it. Are you getting it? That your vote is really your power. So you tell your kids, go take your babies to vote. And what I used to think about was back in the day when they was being threatened. One thing I could love about our people, they went everywhere dressed up on, they may have that one suit, God dog it. But when they went to vote, listen, when they went to vote, they got dressed up to vote. I mean, if you think about it, when they was marching over the thing, they went dressed in their finest because of the dignity that they had. And it was like, you can't break who we are. And that was the problem, y'all. It's the fear of them knowing that they are inferior to us. So they keep pouring it into us that we're not. And that's why we'll keep pouring it into us that we make up everything for not just these divided states of America, but for the world. Everything is valued under us. The dancing, the music. What does the NFL play during the day? Our music, hip hop. We over everything, but we don't understand it. That's why our people went dressed up and they had their heels on and everything else in between when they walked, when they protested, because they had a dignity that was instilled in their DNA. And we need to go back and find it and get your resiliency. Okay.
No doubt.
And I'm gonna say this. Look, for all those of you out here who do not feel that voting is not important, if it was not important, nobody would be trying to stop you from doing it.
Facts.
Exactly. And Brother Ronald Hunt, here's a little known Black history fact, because I see you put PBS Pinchback, first Black governor of Louisiana under Reconstruction. Here's a little, and Trent would know this as a former English major. PBS Pinchback is the grandfather of Gene Toomer. And Gene Toomer's book, Cain, is one of the books that started the Harlem Renaissance. So if you've never heard of Gene Toomer, go check out his book, Cain. And what was brilliant about Gene Toomer's book, Cain, is it was a mastery of all of the literary genres. Like Cain has poetry, essays, and fiction weaved in a way that people didn't even know what it was. Like, it was such a masterful weaving. And we talking about 1919. I'm sorry.
You started chopping up.
Oh, I'm sorry. How's that?
You okay?
Okay.
Fine to me.
Yeah. So PBS Pinchback, first Black governor, was also the grandfather of Gene Toomer. And again, another one of those why Reconstruction was great. So if anybody's never heard of the book Cain by Gene Toomer, yeah, it's one of the books that kicked off the Harlem Renaissance, and it's one of those books that we should be discussing around this time of the year.
And also, if you, I'm sorry, Rochelle, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to see Cedric Walker wrote something I thought was powerful. And this is in 1981. So y'all, this is not long ago. He said, I woke up as a young kid and I woke up to a burning cross in my yard in Presidential Hills as they sprayed Judge Nigger word on my dad's car. 1981.
Mm-hmm.
It still goes on. It still goes on. And want to point out, and like I say, everything is not about me, it's not about the case, but it's exactly what the case that I made reference to is fighting right today.
Wow.
Amen. Say it.
I'm just looking at the words that they're going back and forth, and everybody's saying they remember it, and that was somebody in the chat. That was traumatizing.
So Jacktown Dundee. Okay, so all right. I'm going to explain this, and it's not going to be the most it is what it is. So when you talk about the electoral vote, the electoral college, right? There are two ways to look at the electoral college. I don't have a problem if you want to get rid of the electoral college. I don't have a problem with that. But the design of the electoral college is twofold, right? Like a lot of times it gets, the electoral college was designed because it allowed the South to stay in power. Not quite. The point of the electoral college was not to give one part of the nation more sway in the politics than the other. And so it was one of those things about how do you protect regional interests. So again, I'm all for, if you want to get rid of the electoral college and just go to a popular vote, I'm all for that. Just understand that. So like if you live in a small or less populated state or area, the states with the larger populated folks are going to get to make all the rules. And so, and if you're cool with that and say, hey, it should be, if you saying I want it to be one person, one vote. And a lot of times people who are Democrats right now, they're upset because Democrats win the popular vote, but the Electoral College allows the Republicans to maintain particularly presidential power. So then that becomes a question of, if you are for one person, one vote, which I am, and I don't have a problem with it, just understand that if you get rid of the Electoral College, that means that it's truly going to be about who has the most number of people. And those places that have the most number of people are going to drive the national agenda. And I'll just say
a lot of New York and California driving.
Yeah, a lot of New York and California. And the issue is that, so like if you're in the South and you're agricultural, you may not get a lot of agricultural things because agriculture, while it's big in New York and California, not as big as in the South. I hope that makes sense.
And hey, you guys, thank you, Ken, for inviting me on. I've been tearing up, man, just here, talking. I mean, just in the chat and stuff. Yeah, you're right, C. Lee, Trent, Ken. My dad, it was November 16th, 1979. And my dad, Judge George W. Walker, he was elected in 1979. I was only 3 years old at the time. So, of course, when I went to school, like when I'm first grade, it was like, we had to, I remember back then, we had to tell what our parents did, and so the only thing I knew was my dad is a judge. I don't know what he do, what he, back then, because you just didn't know. But just sharing with you guys, in 81, when I really, really found out what he did, at the time I was going, it was my first couple of weeks going to school, and I went to John Hopkins Elementary. And that morning, my dad always gets up early because he got to, get ready for court that morning and stuff like that. And I never forget. So my dad said, son, go grab the water hose. And so I'm a little kid. I'm like, for what? Like, because, he would at, old school way, you teach your kids probably when they can start walking how to cut the grass, trim the trees, when you did that back in the day when you were toddling, And So, I jumped up and looked out the window. It was a burning cross in our yard.
Wow.
And what happened was, it's because there was a guy that was in the that had gone, and so my dad, so we put it out. The fire truck came and all that stuff, and this, a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna say, it kind of makes sense, because what happened was, at the time, there wasn't a fire station anywhere near Presidential Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And well, a lot of people probably see where I'm going with this. And so, got the fire out because it came from Clinton, and, they got it out or whatever. And so, I'm kind of shook up. So when I come home from school, so my dad sat me down and told me, what he did and, what he does. But anyway, going back to that White Citizens Council, there was a guy, and my dad was in the newspaper for it. I've been trying to find this article. I've gone downtown and stuff like that, and put in for it for years, and just to show you, it still hadn't gotten it back. But that's a whole nother story. But my dad sentenced a guy that was on the White Citizens Council to jail for 30 days because he called him the N-word in his courtroom. And so, it's crazy. And so after the 30 days, my dad actually made an appearance to Hines County. Down there, they call it at the county, the jail system down there.
Yep.
And so he asked the guy, do you want to apologize to me? And so the guy from the White Citizen Council said, hell no. And proceeded to call my dad that again. So my dad got furious and sentenced him to brought him back to court that Monday and sentenced him to a whole year. And so that was this huge write-up and, and stuff like that. And then I'm having white teachers there and they rolling their eyes. And I'm a kid, I don't know what's going on like that. Like, why is this lady looking at me crazy,
Yeah.
And, but needless to say, that's one reason why a lot of people that, like myself, grew up in President Hills. There was a building of a fire station in that neighborhood, and my dad had a lot to do with that. And I also know this for the people that went to Provine. There was all of a sudden redistricting when I went to when I got in the 10th grade, because back then 7th through 9th was junior high back then, and so that was the last year of junior high. My last year, I was the last class in Jackson to ever go to junior high, and so we got redistricted to go to Callaway. But it was strategic because the thing about it is that at the time, the first Black mayor of Jackson, his kids attended their school. The superintendent kids, attended that school, and then myself. So it was kind of strategic, back then, why, stuff like that happened. But like I said, I was a Tougaloo graduate, undergrad. But I always remember what my dad told me. He always used to say, well, son, you ain't real until you go to JSU. And I always be like, what? And so he passed away when I was going to my senior year at Callaway. And I knew, I was going to stay and stuff like that. And so I ended up going to the Loop, graduated there. But my next stop after that was, Jackson State. And, it taught me a lot. And, I'm very appreciative, all the kind, comments and stuff like that. But, there's a lot of things that, my dad had to go through. And I believe that's really what kind of killed him, because, he died, he passed away when he was only 41 years old. Mm. And, so, there was a lot, but he did his job, before God called him home. A lot of judges, like Judge Patterson and Judge Houston and all them guys, and Judge Graves, they all started clerking for him. So it's a rich history, in my household. My mom, she still lives. Trust me, I've tried. I even bought her a house in Ridgeland. Don't even want to stay there. She still stays in the same house where I grew up at. That's her home. So, but I just wanted to share that with you, with my JSU family. And, but yeah, that, Brother C. Lee, yeah, Brother Ken, Sister Rochelle, Brother Trent, JSU family, yeah, that Reconstruction stuff, was tough, because like I said, as an innocent child, I saw it firsthand. I didn't even know what a cotton field in person even looked like until I got in college. Because my dad worked tirelessly, to keep us away from, things like that. And, my mother and father, they grew up in Simpson County. My mom is from Mendenhall, and my dad is from McGee. Okay. But at the tender young age of 27, like I said, my dad was only 27 when he was elected, and he was actually the first Black judge in Mississippi, as well as Hinds County.
That's right.
And, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys.
I appreciate that.
Oh man, no problem, man, no problem. The only thing I just think about, because I have a 17-year-old son, and it pains me sometimes that he never got a chance to meet his granddad. But but the thing about it, he knows who he is, and I teach him about it, and just teach him about life, period. And that's the only thing we can do. But like I said, I appreciate y'all having me on. Of course, I'm always be donating and being in the chat and all this stuff. And as we all say, go Tigers.
Hey, Brother Walker, before you go, man, like I said, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Definitely thank your father's service, man. My father knew your father well, because my father.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah. My dad.
They worked together in the Democratic Party together. And
yes,
so, so my father always spoke highly of your pops.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But the city of Jackson, it still does my mother well. Just for that, the city of Jackson still does my mother well, because she doesn't even, pay utilities. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. That's why, a lot of times, I had to break myself from going on some of these other sites, because, they would make it so personal, talking about the water and the potholes and all this stuff. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, my mama still stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, don't do it, So, there's a lot of stuff, man, that we see and stuff like that. But I am proud, that we all doing our things, and we, like I said, knowledge is only as far as only as far as people spread it. And I believe that, and I always stand on that, man. And one thing about, I can truly say, and I know you guys can truly say as well, the HBCU set the foundation. Because even when I went and got, post degrees and doctoral and all that stuff, when I say that stuff was so easy to me, because, I was used to going to the party on Saturday night and then got a paper due Monday. So that means I got to stay up all night. And so that's what you get at HBCU. So, I remember stuff like that. So, but like I said, again, thank y'all for having me on. And like I said, I just want to, share that, in honor of my mom. She's actually asleep. She's up for the weekend in the other room, sleep. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. And again, thank y'all for having me.
Well, we appreciate you for
blessing us. This is Juneteenth for you right here. This is a Juneteenth celebration right here, Ken.
Brother Cedric, as far as we know, we're not related, but that is a wonderful story, and that's the history that needs to be told and recorded orally, if nothing else. Y'all see, I
Yeah.
got my grandbaby here.
Yes, I we see. But that was so, man, I learned so much tonight. Knowledge is power.
It is. I saw somebody said, he said, Willie, brother Willie, come on up. He said, money talk. Oh yeah, he's saying reparations over the Juneteenth holiday. I got you.
Yeah.
Juneteenth
But I
has
mean,
power.
the thing about it is that, power is whatever we invest. I mean, the problem, I think, Brother Will, is that if you're relating to people who are celebrating Juneteenth because corporations celebrate it, then your point has worth and merit. But I come from a long line of black folks who were selling Juneteenth long before white people knew what it was. Let me be clear, and a lot of people get to be brand new. And I'm not saying it's the flaws or anything, but my family, my father, we were celebrating Kwanzaa before most black people could even pronounce it. We would walk around saying Happy Kwanzaa, and black people would look at us like we were crazy. Like, what the hell? I can't tell you, and as a child, you don't know because you just got these revolutionary parents walking around, other kids making fun of you, right? Here come Mr. Kwanzaa, man, but so, when you say Juneteenth has no power for whom and by whom? Your history, the celebration of your history is the power. We can't confuse. Look, when you live in a system that's based on entropy, when you live in a system that's based on money, you're gonna have people that exploit anything. But just because somebody exploits something doesn't mean you have to allow it to be devalued.
That's right.
Here's the thing: when you talk about both Juneteenth and Kwanzaa, the thing about Kwanzaa is you should be making your own gifts anyway.
Yes.
You should be creative, and so you shouldn't be like, if you talk about that Juneteenth and Kwanzaa have been co-opted, you shouldn't be buying your Kwanzaa and Juneteenth stuff from Walmart, no way.
Right.
So again, I think we have to be very careful about just because somebody else jumps on the bandwagon with our history. That's our problem. We too quick to give up our history. Every time white people jump on something, we give it up. That's how we gave up the blues. That's how we gave up jazz. That's how we gave up rock and roll. There's so many dumbass people running around here thinking rock and roll was invented by white people. I'm sorry, Ken, but it gets under my skin
I'm with
that black people don't even know that we invented rock and roll. So when one of the first jobs one of the first paying gigs I got as a writer was covering rock and roll. I covered Lenny Kravitz, Living Color, Fishbone, Mother's Finest, and I guarantee you that half the people on this chat have never heard of Mother Finest or Fishbone because they think that rock and roll is somebody else. So when you talk about the co-opting of our culture, that's because we get that power to people. But if we celebrate our culture and we celebrate our history and teach it, then it has all the power that we demon. I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
No, that's so beautiful. And I think I was loving all of this. I'm gonna be done, King, because I gotta get ready because I gotta get up and go to the gym in the morning to work on the bottoms, the legs. What we don't understand, Brother Seeley, is what you said. And that's why I said when I went and I took that plant from the Amazon, it took me back to our ancestors, and the only thing they kept telling me was tell them to go back to the village. That's all. It was like we did not rely on them for anything. We did it ourselves, and that's why when Ken be talking about the collective together, because that's all it is. They was like, why are y'all waiting for them to do what y'all know? They was like, it's in your DNA. Go back to the village. That's all I kept saying. Go back to the village, and I'm like, I got it. We got to start doing for ourselves and quit relying on them because they didn't do it for our ancestors. And if they were more successful back then and they were in worse stress, why we got supposed to be better for them and we got more avenues, but we even in a worse situation because they had a resiliency, Celie, and that's the part that we're missing. man, and that's the other part that was like, y'all are so, because I can just share this, I ain't gonna cry, but it was so beautiful, is that I kept saying, what do you want me? I remember saying this out loud while I was under this plant. And I kept saying, how do we go back to the village? He was like, go back to the resilience. It's in your DNA. And it was just like all of a sudden, see, Lee, I was sitting there with tears, but I felt this power come through my body from my toes to my head.
Right.
And I felt a piece of pride in me, Ken, that I've never freaking felt before. And I have not been the same, because he was like, do you want to know how we survived it? And it's like that part of me in the DNA literally came through. And it was like the same way we survived it, you can too. You just forgot what power you have. It's in your DNA. And I was like, that's why I preach that now so much to so many people, is that we've been on the victim side for so long that we don't understand the victor that we really have. So, whew, okay. I just had to share that with y'all. Go back to the village. We're going to do this on our own. Okay. Fish mom. I've never heard of fish mom. I got to Google that.
In living color.
Yeah, man. That was
I've been over here draining.
That Vivid album. If you never heard the Living Colors Vivid album, that is the quintessential rock album of that year. So it's 12/27, and Brother Ken, we appreciate you and Rochelle for all that y'all do. And I've learned not to, as my grandmama say, you know, boy, when you see the people got a welcome mat on it, don't jump up and down on it and wear it out. So
this was good. This was really good.
No, anytime, you know, it's like that. I mean, today especially, we've touched on it, but today is actually the day.
Touch on it.
We touched on Juneteenth a lot leading up to it, but I wanted to make sure we, you know, carve out some time specifically for the conversation, man. And I'll say this while everybody's still on there, like we're almost where we need to be, you know, with this, we got one day left. So for anyone that watches this stream or, you know, afterwards, feel free to continue to donate, and we'll have a total on Wednesday. And Wednesday's a set deadline. I want to keep that deadline. I don't want to extend it. I don't want to go past that. Honestly, I want to let's get this out of the way so we can move on. And if worst case scenario, you know, we want to give Diddy his whole day on Friday when he cut that check, and we'll make sure we get that money in the account. Make sure we get that Diddy 333.
Well, since you said we want it by Wednesday, I'm going to speak those things as they were. We thank y'all so much for the donation of $50,000 that we have celebrated, and we'll be rejoicing on Wednesday when we come in to confirm that we do have this money by the end of that one. So we go celebrate y'all like it's 1999 on Wednesday. Okay.
And not only that, but we're only 22 subscribers away from 5K. So, you know, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend, and tell another friend. That's what we're doing. So, man, it's coming along. I love it, man. I love the progress that we're making. And I know the coaches and staff appreciate what we're doing. So we're going to keep it rolling. I appreciate everybody, again, for coming up. We right at the 3-hour mark. We'll go ahead and shut it down right here, man. So see y'all back on Wednesday, same time. Well, actually, we'll be back we'll be back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. That's the goal, 7 p.m. So I'll see you guys on then. Like I said, appreciate everybody that came up tonight. You know, let's go ahead and knock this goal out, man. That's all I really got on that. Other than that, appreciate everybody. The y'all love. Go Tigers, baby.